Prologue Reincarnation. This chapter is updated by novels.pl. The Age of Myth, the destruction of countries, reducing the spirit's forest to ash and even killing the gods. This was the man feared as the Demon King. The name was Arnos Voldegod, so how about it? The Demon King Arnos uttered these words whilst sitting on his throne with his arms crossed. With just that, a normal human being would be in fear from the power of his words. However, the people in front of him right now do not have that worry. The Severer of Fate, the hero chosen by the Holy Sword Canon, the mother of all spirits, the Grand Spirit Reno, and the creator of this world, the creation god Milita, including Arnos. They control this world's fate. 4 people will be handed down these names in later times, but now they gather in the hall of the Demon King's castle Deruzogedo. I understand the story, it's not a ridiculous condition either. But now, when we are trying to reconcile, the hero Canon said, "That's right, Demon King Arnos. How many people have you killed until now?" Arnos answered with a gaze now turned cold. "Let me reverse that, hero Canon. How many Mazaku have you killed so far?" He returned to words of Canon back to him. Who struck first, the humans or the Mazaku? There was no way to know. No. It doesn't matter. Even knowing the answer would not make the past disappear. The reason would no doubt be trivial. Both sides killed, and those who survived got revenge on those that were killed. After that, the cycle just repeated. Because they were killed, they were avenged, and then those that got revenge were killed for revenge. Hatred accumulated endlessly for both races, and the chain of tragedies accelerated to a pace that could not be stopped. Both humans and Mazaku are the same in that they hate things different from themselves. After all your brutality, do you think you can say those words? What would have happened without my cruelty? If you did not fear the Demon King Arnos, you human beings would have calmly slaughtered the Mazaku. It was a just cause. I do not remember even feeling one bit of guilt. I even praised the humans I killed as heroes. That was because the Mazaku committed atrocious acts, and I say you humans also did. Are you saying the Mazaku are faultless? It means that in war there is neither good nor bad. With a glint in his eye, the Demon King Arnos glared at the hero Canon. You are a human. Don't you believe that the world will become peaceful if the Demon King Arnos is defeated? Yes, I do. You should actually understand it. Stop being a fool. In the place where the Demon King Arnos was defeated, a new fire will be born. Both humans and Mazaku. If the other side is not exterminated, the fighting will not end. No, Arnos is just talking, but he is also a being of immense magical power. Word by word, each one had a compulsion like magic. Even if the Mazaku perish, human beings will just make a new enemy again. Next will be the spirits that are different to yourselves. If you eradicate the spirits, next will be the gods that made you, and if you defeat the gods, you will turn on each other. Certainly, people have weak parts to themselves. However, I want to believe in people. I want to trust in people's kindness. Kaku, and so Arnos laughed. The hero Canon is a good person. He knows of humanity's ugliness but has the courage to believe in the goodness of people. Then, Canon, how about trying to believe in the goodness of the Demon King Arnos? Canon does not answer immediately. Is this offer true? Should he doubt it? As I said earlier, divide the world into 4. The world of humans, the demon world, the spirit world, and the world of the gods. Put up a wall between the worlds and don't open the doors for 1,000 years. If the bond disappears for 1,000 years, the grudges against each other will also disappear. I can change my life force into magical power if you 3 cooperate, and I can activate the grand magic. So you die for peace? You who are called the Demon King. You and the others called me that without permission. I will not die. I will find a handy container and reincarnate, though it will be 2,000 years before I next wake up. Canon falls silent. After a while he steeled himself. All right, I'll believe in you. Even though he had suggested it, the Demon King Arnos could not hide his surprise. He had explained it in good faith. Humans, spirits and gods were shown evidence without any demerit. The remaining problem was emotion. Hatred stacked on top of hatred, constantly repeating. That is why those words needed courage. For the first time, The Demon King Arnos understood why he is called a hero. Thank you. Canon laughs a little. I never thought I'd see a day when the Demon King thanked me, and I did not think a day would come when I could thank the hero. The two of them locked gazes. Their viewpoints are different, but they acknowledged the power and strength in each other's hearts. Now, at last, the long battle is about to be rewarded. Let's get started then. The Demon King Arnos stands slowly up from his throne and holds his hands in front of his eyes. At that moment countless particles of black light began to rise from the castle. Many magic letters appeared on the walls, floors, ceilings, etc. The words being drawn are cramped together. The Demon King's castle is a huge magic circle that Arnos had prepared. This body is the entrance for the magical power. Arnos steps forward and exposes his defenseless body. First, the Grand Spirit Trino and then the Creation God Milita turned their palms towards him and loosed an extremely pure white wave. It was like looking at a star. It was dazzling. A bundle of infinite magic power. No matter how much magic power was poured into his body, the Demon King Arnos absorbed it all. Finally Canon pulled out the holy sword. The preparations for the reincarnation already done. You can do it. The torrent of magic power was intense, crackling and scattering sparks everywhere. It was loud enough to rupture your ears. It could not endure use of the grand magic that was absorbing all the magical power of the world, and the Demon King's castle began to collapse. Canon kicks the floor and thrusts the holy sword forward. Magic is fed into it and the blade becomes pure white before piercing through the heart of the Demon King Arnos. Gofu! Blood drips from the chest of Arnos. His lips become wet and red. With this, his ambition was finally fulfilled. He was fed up. The fighting, this barren world. He was tired. Hero Canon, thank you once again. If you are also reborn in 2000 years, it will be as friends. Demon King Arnos laughed. Farewell. His body disappeared with the light. 2000 years later, a baby was born in a human house. Dear, I saw him born. Our baby, looking happy. Isabella was holding her baby. Standing at her side was her husband Gusta. He's cute. He will become an excellent man. Gusta pokes the baby's cheek. Dear, have you thought about a name? His name is... At that moment when Gusta was about to speak, the name is Arnos. Arnos Voldigod. Their mouths fall open and their eyes look like they are about to pop out. Gusto and Isabella have expressions of complete surprise. Fumu, even though it has been 2000 years, it was only a moment. Forgetting himself, he turned his attention back to the surprised couple. Sorry. Is this the first time you've seen a baby who reincarnated? I was surprised. It seems that even in this age childbirth has not changed. My best regards. The couple yelled out together. He talk Arnos floats a look on his face that says, of course a reincarnated baby can talk. It's hard to talk in this body. Should I grow up a little? A magic formation appears on Arnos' baby body. Instantly he got bigger and grew up to about 6 years old. For the time being, will such a place do? Arnos places his feet on the floor. While he looks himself over and stamps his feet, Gusto and Isabella have expressions of extreme surprise again. Again they scream out together. He grew big. Arnos, the reincarnated baby that had used their growth crest, floated a face that said, of course it would be natural to use this magic. Author's note, because it was a prologue it was third person, but it will become first person from now onwards. Chapter 1. Invitation from Deruzogedo. This chapter is updated by novels.pl. A month has passed since I reincarnated. I've spent the time looking into the world that is now 2000 years further on. It seems the magical arts have degenerated to a much lower level than I thought. Humans don't seem to know about reincarnation, silica, magic at all. 1. It was a rather common magic in the age of myths that I had lived in. For high-ranking magic users, reincarnating was not unusual. However, in the present times that age has been called the era of magic. Reincarnation magic does not seem to be known in the present age. I can talk from birth and have magical talent. My parents Gusto and Isabella have interpreted it that I'm just a very smart baby. Growth, crest, is considered an advanced magic in the present era, but it is still generally known about. 2. Oh well, if the existence of reincarnation is not acknowledged, I guess it can't be helped. The most surprising thing though was that I reincarnated as a human. 2000 years ago I sowed my own seeds. With magic, I created 7 subordinates using my own blood and commanded them to have children and expand their bloodline. I needed a container that contained my blood for a successful reincarnation. As I expected, over 2000 years the blood of the Demon King Arnos did not die out. However, I did not expect it to mix with humans. No. Thinking about it, I suppose that since the Mazaku and the humans stopped fighting, it's probably natural that those with mixed blood are born. I guess deep down I thought that the Mazaku and the humans were fundamentally incompatible, but after 1000 years of being separated by the walls, their troubles were diluted and eventually lost. Humans don't seem to know much about the Mazaku anymore. I asked my parents, but they didn't know anything either. All they knew was that the Mazaku tribe were really far away on the other side of a wall. They had no further information beyond that. The demon country, the home of the Mazaku, is apparently called Deruzogedo. I felt the slight flow of magic power, and out of the corner of my eye, something caught my attention. Moving over to the window, I open it and an owl jumps in before dropping a letter in my hand. It's a letter of invitation from the Demon King Academy Deruzogedo. Demon King Academy? Deruzogedo is the name of my castle. I don't remember hearing about this Demon King Academy. I guess it was founded sometime during these last 2000 years. While I was thinking, the owl opened its mouth. Deruzogedo is a school to raise the Demon Emperor, the person who inherited the traits of the Demon King of Tyranny. In other words, amongst the Mazaku we were founded to find people descended from the imperial family and make them into a fine Demon Emperor. The Demon King of Tyranny? What a nostalgic name for myself. Although I was generally just called Demon King Arnos during those times, but perhaps it's not bad having those two names handed down. The Demon King of Tyranny was the founder, and it is the role of the Academy to find the person closest to the founder and make them the Demon Emperor. You also carry the blood of the founder, and therefore we invite you to Deruzogedo. We await your admission into the Demon King Academy. I inherited the traits and talents of the founder. I am the founder. Even if it followed the unique magical signature overflowing from my blood, it seems the familiar cannot look any deeper into the abyss. At first glance, having reincarnated, the blood of the founder flowing in my body is diluted. However, if I analyze it carefully with demonic sight, I can understand that the blood has changed into the blood of the Demon King Arnos. It is said that this is the year that the founder will be reincarnated. They knew that. It seems that the year of my rebirth was handed down throughout the years. This year the students planning to enter the Demon King's Academy are really promising. They are already called the Chaos Generation. Amongst them are many people regarded as the potential founder reborn. Deruzogedo will be filled with joy when the founder Demon King returns. I see. The entire purpose of the academy is to look for the reincarnated Demon King. For me, should I go then? This chaos generation of the Mazaku. I want to see my descendants with my own eyes. I have received your invitation. We are looking forward to seeing you. You who has inherited the talents of the founder. With that, the owl flew off. I've decided. Strike while the iron is hot. I'll go to Deruzogedo. It'll be inconvenient with this body though. I use the growth, crest, magic. My body was wrapped in light and grew up to the age of 16. This should do. Leaving my room, I head to the front door. It's midnight now. Because both my parents are asleep, I won't have any issue leaving, or so I thought as I placed my hand on the door handle. Who? I hear my mother's voice from behind. Crap. Did you get up? Moreover, in this form, she won't understand that it's me. I better turn round and explain. Arnos-chan, you grew up again. My mother said while looking at my face. You understood well. Of course I did. Even if you grew up a bit, Arnos-chan is still Arnos-chan. It's a bit embarrassing to be called Chan when I'm the Demon King. Oh well, there's no help for it. No point minding it. Where are you going this late at night? It's dangerous outside. Even though I'm a reincarnated being, it doesn't change the fact that I'm her son. Since I was found, I guess I can't leave silently now. Do you know of the Demon King Academy, mother? My mother tilts her head to side, showing she doesn't understand it. Never heard of it. Where is it? It's quite far away. It's in Deruzogedo. A school in such a far-off place. Is something wrong? An invitation arrived to enter the school. I intend to go. You, You can't. Such a far-off school? It's dangerous. Arnos-chan is only a month old. Number. Even if you say a month, as a reincarnated person it's a bit troubling being treated like a baby. Unfortunately, they don't believe the reincarnated story at all. My mother doesn't know anything about my character as the Demon King either. Also mother can't travel such a distance to Derudo. There's a magic school nearby. Is that no good? There's nothing to learn from a magic school. Besides, I'll be going alone so mother is safe here. That's no good. Arnos-chan is only a month old. I can't let you live alone. What about money? I can make money myself. How? The world isn't so nice as magic power gathers in my palm and lumps of gold appear. No way, it's not a fake made by magic, it's real. My mother makes her living as an expert appraiser. She very good at judging precious metals. She can now see how easy it is for me to make money. How did you do this, Arnos-chan? Such magic. Even the sage at the castle can't do this. It seems my mother is surprised. It's no wonder. Speaking of the sage at the castle, they are a master of magic and compete for the top spot in the country. If you couldn't even use this low-level type of magic back in the Age of Myths you would have died, but apparently, the world has become very peaceful. It's the most basics of creation magic to produce things that already exist in the world. The beginner's class teaches you to create mithril and orichalcum. For the Demon King Arnos this is mere child play. Do you believe me even a little that I'm a reincarnated being now? No matter how great a magic you can use no means number. Also, you shouldn't call your own name like that if you are an adult. Okay, TCH. She's got a point. What is this school then? What would you be studying? What should I do? I can easily leave by force. It's alright, Isabella. My father comes over from the depths of the house. There's no holding a man back from the road he's decided on. But dear, Arnos-chan is only a month old and I don't know anything about this school. They say if you don't see a boy for 3 days they grow. Arnos is already a month old. In that case, we will have to observe him 10 times more, but father doesn't have eyes that big. 3. It's been a month. Having lived together for a month with my parents I understand them. My mother is a worrywart and my dad is a bit of a fool. Father knows Arnos. The Demon King Academy is a school that raises the Wizard King, isn't it? Arnos is so good at magic I'm sure he wants to study there. I guess it's roughly like that. It's totally different, but let's keep that to myself. Go Arnos. My dad said in a powerful voice. Is it okay? My father nods. However, we will all go together. What? It's the duty of a parent to support their child. You are still young. You are only a month old after all. So father's worried as well. Shikichi, my father wags his finger. It's Arnos that doesn't understand. Listen up. Parents are always sad and lonely when a child leaves home. You are a newborn. We will be very lonely. My father is using difficult words to explain it. I think you should use simpler words. Isabella's lonely too, right? Yes, you grew up so fast. I didn't think, sorry. Maybe Arnos-chan is a child given great power by God and you think your mother is obstructive, but I want to be together a little longer. I'm at a loss for words. In my old life, I didn't have parents. My mother died. Did my father die? Did he throw me away? I don't know. I don't remember ever talking to my parents. I never thought about it. If you will be lonely, I guess there's no help for it. My mother's face lit up when I said this. All right, it's decided. We'll prepare to move house straight away. Don't worry about anything. Father is a blacksmith. No matter where we go we won't have to worry about eating. And like this, the 3-person family will move to Derudo. 1. Kanji reads reincarnation but the furigana reads silica. 2. Kanji reads growth but the furigana reads crest. 3. The 3 days thing is part of an old proverb but I couldn't find a good English source to explain it better. Chapter 2. Very weak descendants. This chapter is updated by novels.pl. Several days later, in front of my eyes is the nostalgic view of my castle's front gate. My castle was made from a 3D solid magic formation, so even after 2000 years it's still in good shape, though in some odd places it is showing its age compared to when I was last alive. The only thing that's really changed is that its name has been changed to Demon King Academy. Looking around my surroundings I can see people entering the gate one after another. Are these people taking the entrance exam? Arnos-chan, Stay strong. Although I said it wasn't necessary, my parents found out about the exam and came with me to school. Retain a calm mind. My father is muttering nonsensical things. No, can you calm down, father? You seem to be okay. Our Arnos-chan is so strong after only a month. He will definitely pass. Naturally, no other Mizuku have turned up with their parents. I'm slightly ashamed by the surrounding gazes. I'm off then. I turn and head off towards the row of Mizuku queued up in front of the front gate. Good luck, do your best, Arnos. Good luck, do your best, Arnos. My father is embarrassing. Is this what human parents are like? I must admit it doesn't feel bad at all. Just a bit embarrassing. Hooray, hooray Miska. Fighto Miska. Another embarrassing cheer that wasn't from my father could be heard from behind. A quick glance showed me a bearded, stern-faced man raising his fists in the air and yelling. The blood of the Mizuku is mixed but seems quite weak in him. About the same as my dad maybe. That means he could be a human being as well. Trudging away from the embarrassing man is an expressionless girl. She's very pretty with blue eyes, a straight nose and an innocent facial expression. Long platinum blonde hair with fluffy ringlets cascades from her head. She's wearing robes colored in black and white. The embroidery and design seem to be of Mizuku origin. If that's the case, perhaps my parents are Mizuku and not human as well. Well, my mother might be Mizuku anyway. Good luck, do your best, Arnos. Good luck, do your best, Arnos. Just as I enter the main gate, I can hear my father again. That girl turns to look at my father and follows his gaze to me. Our eyes just met. We're both troubled it seems. When I speak, she lets out a shy little laugh. The girl let out a short agreement. Is she a poor talker? Taciturn perhaps? Doesn't seem like she'll say anything more. She doesn't seem to be wary of me though. I'm Arnos Voldigod. After I spoke, I wondered if I had done the right thing. That's the name of the founder Demon King. On one hand, I don't want to cause a scene, but on the other hand, I don't see any reason to hide it either. Well, it doesn't really matter. Now or later, it makes little difference. Mizha. Unexpectedly she didn't react to my name. Mizha Necron. I wonder why she didn't show any interest. Saying that, it's better this way. 2000 years have passed. I can't imagine anyone here will be interested in Demon King Arnos. My best regards, Mizha. Another short reply. As I was about to enter the gate, a man stepped in front of me. He had swarthy skin, a forged steel-like body, short-cut white hair, and appeared to be somewhere in his 20s. He had a smile that just screamed bad intentions. Taking the admission test with your parents. When did the Demon King Academy become a playground for children? Who's this fellow? Oi, is that? This is bad. They've caught the arrogant gaze of Zeps. I wonder if that guy will keep all his limbs. Apparently, this chap is famous. Putting him aside for the moment, does this queue extend all along the right-hand side? I'm sure that's where the arena was. I see. They must be doing the entrance exam in there. Are you good at fighting, Miss? Not really. I guess fighting's not her strong point. Well, since things have become peaceful, that's fine. We headed over to the right and joined the queue. Oi, bastard. I turned around to look since it was so noisy behind. That man from a while ago was glaring at me. You finally turned around. Yeah. My descendants appear to be lacking in manners. 1. Should I chastise him a little? I'm sorry. Your magical power was so weak I didn't see you. Wow, what did you say? The man's eyes turned furious almost immediately. This one is the Demon Duke Zepsindu, and you knowingly insult me? Demon Duke? No. I've never heard of you. Are you famous? I see. This nickname must have been born sometime during the last 2000 years. Or you bastard. Apologize now. What an awfully cold voice. Zeps glares at me with merciless eyes and makes a fist. Particles of magic power gather and a magic formation is drawn. 2, 3, 4, 5 magic formations. He opened his hand and condensed jetpack flame sprang from his palm. Wow. Were you surprised? Good. Will you beg for your life? I'll forgive you if you lick my boots. If not, I'll use this dark flame that can burn even the gods called Demon Fire, Guresude, and turn that Oju-chan's face into a skeleton. Ha 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 ha. Wow. Wow, what type of low-level magic is this? What was the point of drawing 5 magic formations to make this demon flame? Deruzogedo? Of course I'm surprised. He spoke in such an exaggerated and grand manner, yet I've just been shown magic that's inferior to a child playing with matches. Despite being my descendant, he's not blessed with magic power at all. Poor chap. Phew, what the impossible? That's impossible. I blew the demon flame, Deruzogedo, out with my breath. Bastard. Bastard, what did you do? Why are you surprised? I just blew a match flame out with my breath. My demon flame, Deruzogedo, is a match flame. In the first place, the usage of magic power is fundamentally different between me and Zeps. This fellow frantically scrapes together magic power and forcefully uses it. I naturally have it all around and can spontaneously use it. If you couldn't do that in the age of mythology, your death was certain. No. I suppose that the peace at any price mindset has caused the degradation of magic. However, this could be a good age to live in. Mazaku, that were weak, can speak in such a grand manner now. Bastard, such an insult. Don't think that you can return alive now. Doesn't this fellow understand the difference in our levels? Wait a minute. When I spoke, the body of Zeps stiffened like he'd been paralyzed. What's wrong? Why can't move? What have you done? Oh, I see. Magic power is naturally attached to my words, so I must have cast compulsion on him. To be this easily caught by the power of words, he must have very weak anti-magic abilities. Oh well. Please stand there and reflect for a while. Zeps looked apologetic as soon as I finished speaking. All those things I said, it was not words that should have been spoken when meeting someone for the first time. If there is a hole I want to climb in, how can I apologize for what I've done? Zeps carried on reflecting while standing there like a scarecrow. The voices of the other applicants from earlier were murmuring again. That's amazing. That guy made Zeps apologize. Ah, did you see? He extinguished that demon flame. He must be a master at anti-magic. I've never seen his face before. He might be the dark horse of the chaos generation. So exaggerated. I moderated my voice though. Even that fellow should be able to undo my compulsion in about 10 minutes or so. I'm sorry to keep you waiting. Shall we go? I called out to Missa, who was waiting for me, and we began walking. Arnos, she calls out to me in a small voice. What? Strong? I couldn't help laughing. I won't deny it, but in this case, it's not appropriate. She leans her head to one side in puzzlement. Why not appropriate? That guy was too weak. We passed into the arena where the examination was taking place. 1. Yeah is usually translated as something along the lines of oh boy, here we go. My, and so on. It's an expression of relief or disappointment usually. I didn't translate it because I like the sound of it, sorry. Same with Phyto. Chapter 3, Practical Exam. This chapter is updated by novels.pl. The arena has been split into various sections. An owl is perched on one of the bronze statues of knights that are lined up nearby and speaks. Please line up by the letter that was printed on your invitation card. Looking at my invitation, I could see the letter F printed on it. Ms. Huzzes, she says while showing me the invitation. An owl flies to the end of each line carrying a piece of parchment with a letter on it. Well then, my best regards on entering this school. NN. Separating from Miss Hu, I line up in the F row. It's a long line, but I peer ahead using my demon eye. It looks like we enter our waiting room one at a time. It looks like my turn will take some time. At a rough count, there are about 100 people ahead of me. All 7 lines are the same though, so there's about 700 people here. I know it's been 2000 years, but my descendants have increased well. It seems my worry about my bloodline dying out was unnecessary. While idly thinking such things, I wait for time to pass. After a while, I'm finally at the front of the line looking at the waiting room. Entering inside, there's another owl waiting again. Whose familiar is this? I can't feel any traces of magic power, so I can't see who its master is. They have hidden themselves well. It seems there are some decent magic users in this age after all. Welcome. please coming. I'll explain the contents of this practical exam. Inviting me and examining me. I can't judge if the admission for this school is right or wrong, though their first purpose is to find the reincarnated Demon King. This is the first time I reincarnated, but reincarnating with your memories intact is supposed to be quite rare. How aware are they that they are the reincarnation of the Demon King? Knows. The Mazaku of now probably have no idea. If I stepped forward and introduced myself, I could finish it, saying that it was arranged for me to come here, so it's only common courtesy that I hear them out first. In this practical test, we have students duel each other in the arena. After beating 5 people, your magic power is measured. We examine you, and if you pass, you are admitted into Deruzogedo. If you lose, you will be unable to gain admission. I am the first Demon King. There's no chance of me losing. Also, by watching the magic that a person uses, it is possible to tell if someone is the founder. I think that the test is a bit simple, but it might be right for this time and place. All weapons, armor and spells are allowed. Any questions? Not really. Well then, I wish you the blessing of the founder. I opened the door at the back of the waiting room and proceeded down a dim and long passageway. Even though it's my castle, this is the first time I've used this corridor. The arena was originally a place where people fought to show off their skills for combat. A light appeared as I neared the end of the corridor, and I exited out into a round stadium with high walls. Above the wall was the spectator seats, filled here and there with Mazaku. Looking closer, I can see that they are all wearing the same uniform. Are they students at this school? Yo, we meet again. A man with swarthy skin was standing at the opposite end. It was Zeps, who I easily dealt with last time. Fumu, my partner, is a small fry. It will be difficult to prove I'm the founder fighting him. What should I do? You, oi, are you listening? Without answering, I walk forward 3 steps and the passage behind me closes with a magic barrier. Oops, your retreat has been blocked. Are you nervous? Zeps said in a proud tone of voice. You thought I was thinking of running away? Don't worry, I won't kill you, so feel at ease. Zeps clicks his tongue. Yeah, I was being polite, but this guy has no manners. Is he really a fool who can't tell the difference in our power? Let me tell you, I won't go easy on you. I'll change your proud face into a soggy, tearful face full of horror, then I'll kill you. I couldn't help it. I burst out into laughter. Kukaku, no, kill me. Who? This me? I glare at Zeps. Know your place, you buffoon. Power can be put into words, but it didn't affect Zeps this time. The dull-colored armor he was wearing flashed anti-magic formations across its surface. Who? I won't eat from that hand anymore. This armor contains the power to block any magic cast at it. I see. Because he relies on that armor, his own personal anti-magic power is weak. Despite being my descendant, he's a completely pitiable man. All weapons, armor and spells are allowed. Victory or defeat leads to death for someone, but you can give up and I'll determine the winner. The voice of the owl flying above fills the arena. Practical exam. Start. Zeps immediately whips out the sword that was hanging from his waist. The blade was burning brightly. Are you surprised? Demon Sword Zephyride, a sword born from an ancient fire that's been passed down through the Inder family. It will amplify my magic power tenfold. You seem to be good at anti-magic, but the flame of this sword cannot be raised. Fumu, are you perhaps bad at maths? Zeps openly shows his anger while cutting down the distance between us. What are you trying to say? 1 multiplied tenfold will still only be 10. Bastard. Zeps kicks the ground and in the next moment appears in front of me, putting me in range of Zephyride. Die. Fewer. I suppress a yawn. He's extremely slow. If I had a sword, I'd have done 100 slashes by now. Well, adults should pay attention to children when they are playing. Oh, it came. The weapon aside, he's no sword master, so I have no real need to avoid it. The demon sword Zephyride was swung in a horizontal flash and was about to connect with my neck when I absent-mindedly looked properly at the sword for the first time. This is bad. I quickly dodge out of the way. Who? You did well to avoid it. That was dangerous. Several more millimeters and it would have connected with the weak anti-magic field I always have active on myself. It would have snapped. the sword in half. It's the Inder family's treasure that's been passed down through the generations. Even though it's blunt, I don't want to break such an important item of theirs. Truly a pang of conscience. However, is that a demon sword? Indeed. Is this the first time you've seen one? It's different from modern magic. It's true magic. It's an old sword from the time of the gods. Demon sword Zephyride. This is a demon sword. If I had to compare it to the time of the gods, just pick up any old stick from the ground and it would have more magic power than this. If you were told that this is a product from the time of the gods, you got a fake. A true demon sword has its own will and such vast power that even its user would be ruined eventually. The words demon sword are being used too carelessly as well. Phew! I blow and the fire from the demon sword Zephyride goes out. G-E-E-E-E-E-E. A wordless scream comes from Zeps and a surprised voice leaks out from the spectators. I can't believe it. That person erased the flame from Zephyride. That old flame is said to not disappear until the end of the world. Also, I didn't see the activation of any magic. Zeps grits his teeth. Bastard. Possibly sealing magic? What? I just blew it out. With the amount of power hidden in that sword, it should reignite itself in a couple of years. Zeps has a bitter expression. Sealing magic? Compulsion magic? You certainly seem to have acquired magic power at a terrible level. The magic that you use is not suitable for battle, however, so how are you going to break through my anti-magic armor? Phew, that armor will break if I simply pat it, though that would be a bit childish on my part. I don't think I can feel proud if I break it though. Have you lost your nerve? No. But I do have an interesting proposal. In the first place, it's wrong that we are fighting over the same viewpoint. Zeps stares at me cautiously. I'll give you a handicap. I will not move a single step from here. I won't use magic and I won't empower my words or breath with magic. I won't move my limbs and I won't even use my eyes or hair. I'll defeat you without even blinking. There should be a limit to bluffing. Is that your excuse for when you lose? Apparently. Your magic really isn't suited for battle. Zeps vomits out blood. Impossible this is. Can you hear it, Dokkan? A sound echoes. It's a heartbeat. Magic power was infused in the beating and the sound shook Zeps violently. Even though it's an anti-demon armor, it's not a particularly good item. There are a number of gaps in the anti-magic formations. My heartbeat passed through them. Kaha. With blood seeping out from his whole body, Zeps fell to his knees and then fell forward. Phew, I give up. So weak. If I get excited, my heartbeat will kill everyone. Chapter 4. The common sense of the Demon King is lacking after 2,000 years. This chapter is updated by novels.pl. I turn around to leave, but a voice calls out from behind. Wait, bastard. Zeps tries to unsteadily get up, but his body is too wounded, so he crawls on the ground. You can be saved if you get treated immediately. Give up. To inherit the blood of the founder but not being able to deliver the finishing blow to an enemy. To think such a thing is to bring disgrace to this Demon King tribe. Does the Demon King tribe mean they inherited the blood of the Demon King? I didn't inherit any skills though, since I'm the founder. Stop talking so much. You'll die. Kill me. A small fry like you is not worth killing. What's his problem? You can't do it, can you? Then you fail. Try to make me give up if you can. Even if I die, I won't give up. I can make him give up if I order him to, but I know what you're thinking. You'll use compulsion magic on me. That's fine. Try it. I won't give up. A few Gah. I stamp on Zep's head, pushing his face into the stone floor. Yeah, you're too full of yourself. Such an odd sense of superiority you've got. He did say one interesting thing though. If I don't use compulsion magic, I can't make you give up, was it? It's true, you piece of shit. Even with me standing on his head, Zeps is still talking big. You're pretty amusing. Very well. It's my victory if I make you give up without using compulsion magic, and you win if I can't. You sure? You sure do talk big. Even if I die, I won't give up. I blink my eyes and invoke the magic contract. Zect. If I can make Zeps give up without using compulsion, I win, and if not, he wins is written down. Contract. Zect. is absolute. The contract is signed with the user's magic power. It is impossible to change the contract. Zeps signs it without hesitation. You're an idiot. No matter how much you hurt me, I won't give up. At best I'll feel sorry for you. Ha 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 ha. I place my forefinger near Zep's forehead. Oh, what's that going to do? I flick his forehead with my finger. Gah. Zep's whole body disappears. Oops, I thought I'd reduced the power enough. Did he die? I see. Yeah, this is my loss. I guess there's no help for it. I cut the tip of my index finger with my nail and let a single drop of blood fall. Resurrection? Ingaru, magic. Zep's whole body is rebuilt and comes back to life. His armor and sword were a little bit more difficult. What's that magic? The dead Zeps revived. He brought the dead back to life. Such magic surpasses common sense. Why are they surprised? The spectators are getting noisy over Zeps being revived. If I couldn't use this magic, death would really mean death. Why? Zeps looks at me with a confused face. How's it feel dying once? Feel like giving up yet? Idiot, who's giving up? Jai. I flick his forehead and he dies again. Oops, I killed him again. Oh well, as long as it's within 3 seconds. Resurrection, Ingaru, can bring him back without any risk. It's the 3-second rule. The silence from the arena washed over me like a wave. Something I've done has silenced them. I'm following the 3 seconds rule where it's safe to kill someone. This was a common joke during the Age of Myths. They don't seem amused. As expected after 2,000 years of change. Has humor changed as well? Actually, looking closer, everyone looks terrified. Is my joke that bad? I'll have to restrain my jokes until I understand this age's humor. Ha. Resurrection? Ingaru. After reviving again, Zeps look at me with a face filled with fear. Is he starting to feel it? This much shouldn't become a trauma for him. You said you wouldn't give up even if you died. Surely you didn't think your life would end with only one death? There's no reply from Zeps. He's just trembling. Well then, shall I ask you again? Do you want to give up? A hopeless expression floats across Zep's face for an instant. However, a weak voice comes out. Who's gif? Another flick and he's dead again. Resurrection? Ingaru. Having to use a drop of blood each time is a pain. Again Zep's body is rebuilt. He's watching me with a fear-stained face now. By the way, resurrection? Ingaru. Magic has an interesting philosophy behind it. After you revive, are you the original or are you a copy of the original with the same personality and memories? Could you be a completely new person? What do you think? A sound of chattering teeth can be heard from Zep's shaking lips. His face is completely pale. Bastard, such cruel behavior. Fumu, not interested, I see. In my era, this was a hot topic for debate. Well, if their humor is different, I guess philosophical arguments will be different as well. Right, time to kill you again. You talk about killing so easily. Haha, I have a really refreshed smile right now. What's this? You said something so modest all of a sudden. Being dead doesn't really mean death, you know. I extend my finger towards Zeps. PL, please wait. Oops, crap. My finger slipped and I killed him by mistake. He was trying to say something as well. Oh dear. Let's revive him again. Bastard. I told you to wait. Ha ha ha. My bad. I was careless. Ha ha ha, my ass. Shit. How do you kill someone carelessly? Oh, you seem a lot better now. Well then. One more time. I bring my finger to Zep's forehead again and his eyes immediately lose all color and shine. Please wait. What is it? With an expression stained with humiliation, he said. It's my defeat. I give up. What? What a boring ending. You didn't last long playing our game. I was intending to kill you at least 10,000 times. I crack this little joke with a smile to show there's no hostility, but Zeps trembles like I've just threatened him. That Zeps was handled like a child. Too overwhelming. Who is that guy? I've never seen his face before. Voices started leaking out from the seating area. Chapter 5. Royalty. This chapter is updated by novels.pl. I accept the surrender of Zepsindu. Winrano's Voldegod. Along with the owl's words, the barrier disappears as well. Something's strange though. My name has been declared, which is the same as the Demon King Uno's. but nobody is reacting at all. Have a lot of foolish people taken the name of the Demon King in the past so nobody thinks anything of it anymore? It would be troublesome if I became too famous, but I also want to prove my abilities. It was a good match. I hold out my hand to Zeps and praise him, but his body twitches and shakes like he's frightened. Bastard. Stop looking down on me. I'll remember this. Zeps runs off while shouting out a line an underling would say. Phew, once a match is over there should be no grudge. What's he so angry about? He certainly failed because of me, but I didn't kill him. Can't he just try again next year? He will return home healthy and come back to fight me again. During the Age of Myth, many Mazaku found happiness and shed tears of gratitude in this place. After a 10-minute break, you will fight your next opponent. Unnecessary. I don't need a 10-minute break. That last fight wasn't even a warm-up. I'll actually get tired from so much free time. I've got another 4 people to beat. I hope they are not all small fry. By proposal of Arno's Voldigod, the break will be omitted. At that moment I sense a flow of magic power from the passageway that Zeps escaped down. Jaira. A scream echoes from the passageway, then a long-haired Mazaku appears. His brow is wrinkled and he has a nervous look on his face. Then the source of the scream becomes apparent. He's dragging Zeps along by his throat. Elder brother, I was wrong, please forgive me. Next time I'll definitely. Shameless. The long-haired Mazaku crushes Zep's throat. Magical particles gather and black lighting burns Zep's whole body. Jaira. Zeps turns into charcoal immediately. The long-haired Mazaku throws him away like garbage and walks towards me. I see you were taking care of my younger brother. I see. Zep's older brother. He seems a better opponent than Zeps. Avenging your younger brother? It's a good story. To be defeated by a mongrel. He's brought shame on our bloodline. Helping him to die is the only sympathy I can offer. Am I the mongrel? Oh well, no point getting upset. I suppose I am a mongrel, but since I'm descended from myself, isn't that fine? It's actually quite funny. I feel like a mother watching the fight between 2 sons. Shouldn't brothers help each other? Naive. Power is everything to the Demon King families. Yeah. Who's the naive one here? I don't want to spoil their fun though. What I will say though is killing your own allies is stupid. If you did this in the Age of Myths you wouldn't live long. You don't seem to understand what power is. What a boring sense of justice you have, using such grand magic like resurrection just to make someone give up. Everything is settled if you kill them. While he's talking I cast an interested gaze up to the spectators. I see. Over the seats in the 3rd row have Mazaku not wearing a uniform. Are they also examinees? Is my next opponent there? It doesn't make sense. I was in row F but I passed straight through into the arena and started my practical test suddenly. I didn't have a chance to go into the audience seats. Apparently you don't know, we Demon King tribe are pure bloods. We are royalty and as such we can choose our opponents. We are treated differently to you mongrels who have the founder's blood mixed in. Phew, that letter on the invitation must have classified us on how much our blood was mixed. I don't know who came up with it, but it's hilarious. My power doesn't care how mixed your blood is. It's completely unrelated to how much you inherit. Why would they do something so stupid? It's like trying to kill me before I reincarnated in the first place. The idea that pure blood is strong and mixed is weak is fundamentally flawed. A single drop of Demon King blood is all that is required. I'm absolutely amazed that something this simple hasn't been realized. You finally seem to understand your position. No, not really. I couldn't care less about such stupid things. Piku the man's temple twitches. Stupid things, was it? Yeah, stupid. Because he was strong he was called the Demon King by others without his permission. Pure blood? His position? Ha! Don't make me laugh. The long-haired Mazaku's face distorts at my ridicule. You might be my direct descendant but your pride is boring. I don't care that a privileged class was made particularly. Such a thing has existed in all ages. However, the Demon King is someone who surpasses all laws and authority by their own power and forces other to acknowledge it. It's not to be passed down as a privilege to the offspring. The long-haired Mazaku's eyes were now thirsting for blood at the way I was talking. You words this day, disregarding the founder's great exploits and criticizing the royalty means your death. This great demon Emperor Lorgandu will put you to death. How did I disregard my own exploits when I was talking? What? Your perception is really poor. I am the founder. The hatred flares up in Lorg's eyes and he glares at me. Bastard. Do you even know what you are saying? Of course I do. I told you who I was. Lorg cried out as he reached the limits of his patience. That disrespectful attitude to declare yourself the founder. Die 10,000 times. I don't get it. Your thinking is that the Demon King will reincarnate but will be an idiot that doesn't understand who they are? Shut up. To doubt the 7 royal demon families is a grave sin. 1. The 7 royal demon families. Another strange alias came out. I'd better look it up. What you are saying is lacking any ground, but I don't blame you because the Demon King is not something that is proven by words. You mocking the 7 royal demon families again. That wasn't my intention at all. This guy is really troublesome. It's fine. Let's make it quick. I'll teach your body that I'm the founder. I provoked him and wondered if he'd jump at me right away, but unexpectedly he looked up at the spectators' seats. Show this guy what happens to people who criticize the royalty. As he speaks, 3 Mazaku get up from the seats and jump into the arena. Fumu, is that okay? Should you do this in the middle of an entrance exam? Lorg answered me in a normal tone of voice. Have you lost your nerve? This is a respected entrance exam. It will be a pain to have to defeat them one by one. Let's just save the time and effort. Perhaps this will prove who the founder is. The owl referee flying overhead doesn't point out that this is a rule violation. I see. This must also be one of their privileges. I guess the power of the royalty means I can only pass by such means. About these 4 people, it's too late now. Just regret your own remarks and die. No. You misunderstand me. There's not enough of them. Lorg's expression turns grim. What? I'm saying that these 4 small fry are not enough to prove I'm the founder. Get everyone to come down here and line them up. Bastard. Lorg didn't even need to order it. The Mazaku watching started jumping down one after the other. I guess they are all purebloods as everyone looking at me looks dissatisfied. I guess there's about 80 of them. It's often said that the mouth is the source of misfortune. Good grief. That's too many. I don't need to sacrifice 80 people. Lorg started to frown, then appeared to change his mind and laughed. Even though you are an outrageous person who pretends to be the founder, if we one-sidedly destroy you, the royal family's name will be tarnished. We won't do anything for 10 seconds, so use that time wisely and prepare a powerful magic coup. You gained a very big mouth. Has your number of allies increased? You shouldn't look down on people. Though he was raging a little while ago, Lorg was now laughing. Is it because he's got numerical superiority? Do you have time to talk? Several seconds have already passed. Lorg was talking like he'd already won. I had to laugh. Ha ha ha. What's so funny? Have you gone mad from fear? Haven't you noticed yet? Use your demon eyes. Demon eyes are eyes that can see magical power. After being told, Lorg finally sees the flow of magic power as he puts magic into his eyes. As soon as he did, he was taken aback. Has he finally noticed that his own magical power was running out of control? The Mazaku surrounding me raised a voice that was almost a scream. What is this? My magic power is impossible. He hasn't deployed a single magic formation. Stop it. This fellow 80 people from the royal families at the same time. What did you do? What the hell did you do? Yeah. Getting so undisciplined over this much. Hey, you'd better take control of your magic power quickly. Otherwise, the faces of the Mazaku surrounding me became a deep blue. They are desperately trying to control their magic power, but they are too late. You'll die. At that moment, a loud noise rings out. The 80 people that jumped down into the arena exploded like a powder magazine that had been set on fire. 2-1. This is subject to change. 7 royal demon families is a very literal translation, and I'm not sure it sounds right in English. The author uses under furigana, so 7, demon and imperial family, royalty. I wondered if the 7 imperial families sounded better. Yes, it omits the demon part, but we know that anyway. Possibly could also go with the 7 demon emperor families. Let me know what you think. 2. A powder magazine was a building designed to hold gunpowder in wooden barrels. Chapter 6. Forbidden Spell, Origin Magic. This chapter is updated by novels.pl. After the explosion settles, the arena is littered with heaps of bodies. However, I think I can tentatively say that they are all still alive for the time being. I expressly warned them. It's so sad that these people are my direct descendants, yet they are on the verge of death. No. Let's think positive. They aren't dead yet. Bastard. What did you do? Lorg unsteadily gets to his feet. His right arm is dyed red. If he's not careful, that arm will be useless for the rest of his life. On the plus side, he's less wounded than I thought he would be. He must have judged that he wouldn't be in time to stop it, so he sent all the power to his right arm. What? I only threatened you a little. Your core, your source of power, was scared of me and went wild. What a joke. It's actually the truth, but Lorg doesn't seem to believe me. To begin with, magic is created from the core of our being, our out if you will. If the core is altered or scared, the magic produced by it can go out of control. Well, whatever. Care to admit that I'm the founder? Even a little? Lorg's hatred returned as soon as I spoke. Should I praise him that he can still show such great hostility towards me, or should I admonish him that he's that stupid he can't tell the ability of his opponent? Not in the slightest. I see. However, the fact is that I'm perfectly fine and you are not. I am closer to the founder than you. Sealing magic, compulsion magic, recovery magic, magic of an unknown origin that causes other powers to run wild. There's no way to handle multiple magics at such a high level. You are using a special tool to use your magic. Cuckoo. Laughter rises up from deep in my stomach. Yeah. Did you see me come with a magic tool or use one? I understand that you don't want to admit my ability, but your argument is hilarious. There's no other way a mongrel can obtain such power. Mongrel. Where's this obsession with pure blood come from? It wasn't like this 2,000 years ago. I am royalty. It's ridiculous to fall behind a mongrel. Defeat is not permitted even if I die. Lorg thrust out his mostly dead right arm and a magic formation appears. That is, I'll let you see it. The difference between you and me. The origin magic that is only conveyed to royalty. That's origin magic. Three-dimensional formations have appeared. What magic is he going to use? I don't know yet, but he seems happy with it, so I'll stop hindering him for a bit. The amount of magic power has exceeded the regulatory limits. The voice of the owl comes down from the sky. Magic barriers have been deployed in the auditorium. All spectators please evacuate immediately. The magic being exercised by the examinee may cause death amongst the spectators. Screams come from the seats. This is bad. Lorg Summer is going to use that. Everyone run away. The barriers won't hold. Lorg grins and laughs. You should be sorry. This origin magic is a forbidden spell. It's over for you. Black lightning gathers and crackles on Lorg's right hand. It increases and soon covers a 1-meter radius. The radius doubles and the black lightning increases in power. Finally, half the stadium is covered in black lightning. Intense sparks scatter as the lightning and the barriers react to each other. Do you understand? This is genuine magic that cannot be imitated by you mongrels. After speaking in a haughty tone, Lorg raises his right arm to the sky, aimed and swung it down with all his might. Origin magic demonic black thunder emperor, Deruzogedo. The black lightning swells several hundred times, gathers like a typhoon or whirlpool and blows everything up in the stadium. Thud thud thud, fragments from the spectator gallery come raining down while a cloud of smoke billows up. The figure of Lorg emerges from the debris. His magical power is almost exhausted, but he seemed to have escaped death somehow. In the next moment, he looked up and saw me. A surprised expression appeared on his face. Impossible. You received a direct hit from Deruzogedo. You're unhurt. To be fair, it was pretty powerful, but he made a fatal mistake. Magical power dwells in old things, and origin magic is a magic that borrows its power from a source with greater magical power than yourself. Where did you learn that? Lorg is astonished. It's hardly a secret. I developed it after all. Of course I'd know about it. If you deal with origin magic, it's the standard strategy to borrow the power from an old existence with more powerful magic. However, the older it is, the more uncertain its existence becomes, and the control to borrow its power becomes increasingly difficult. This is why it becomes unmanageable to borrow vast amounts of magic power. In short, to use origin magic you must clearly know the existence that you are borrowing power from. However, the older it gets, the more information is lost about it, and eventually what is known all about it will be different from the original thing. You should try to borrow power from an existence that is reliable even if it's old. It's common to use famous legends or folklore. Also, if the object has an affinity with you, the success rate of origin magic rises as well. To use Deruzogedo, this time that fellow used magic power deeply related to him. An owner of huge magical power that even killed gods 2000 years ago. He borrowed power from the demon king of Tyrannianos Voldigod, otherwise known as me. Certainly, to use origin magic in this age they will struggle to find a suitable origin. However, I'm sorry, but when you use origin magic, the item you are borrowing the power from cannot be affected by it. Did you not know that? Bullshit. Still calling yourself the founder, you fool. While Log was talking to me in an upset voice, I was thinking about the best way to cook this fellow. Chapter 7, Brothers Bond. This chapter is updated by novels.pl. He's not as weak as Zeps, but Log is still weak. To me the difference is so little it's basically the same. However, I'll give him a bit of a good evaluation due to his enthusiasm to risk his life using origin magic. I'll teach him what a magic battle is all about. He's nothing but a sapling in my eyes, but I'll favor him a bit. Is this parental affection on my part as the founder? Though you are very inexperienced, it was pretty good of you to stake your life on it. In consideration of that, I'll give you one chance. While speaking I walked to a certain place. A chance? That's right. And the chance is this. I draw a magic formation using the charcoal. That was Zeps. I put my hand in the center of the formation, grasp something and strongly pull it up. Zeps' body appears in the formation, but it's not in Garu this time. The meat is too rotten for that. What this magic? What's this ominous magic power? What the hell is this? Is this the first time you've seen it? This is decaying death. Iglam. Put simply, it resurrects the dead person as a zombie. Impossible, it's moving like it's alive. Such magic, you monster. What? Such an exaggeration. This is really easy magic. Zeps, who had revived as a zombie, gets up and moves towards Log. His eyes are dead and drool is falling from his mouth. It hurts, it hurts. Elder brother, why did you kill me? Why was I killed? Elder brother, why? Stay back, you're dead, be gone. Without hesitation, Log casts demon lightning. Demundo, at Zeps. Noisy. The demon lightning was wrapped up in black flame as it approached Zeps. His demon flame, Deruzogedo, burnt it out completely. What? Zeps, Deruzogedo, beat my Demundo? That's due to Iglam. Those who are resurrected by it gain great magical power. As compensation for receiving those powers, they burn with the hatred they had when killed and are tormented by the pain of their wounds which will never heal. Log's brows knit together. Is it Zeps' purpose to kill me? His pride as a pureblood would not let him live with the disgrace of being hurt by his younger brother who he looked down on. Knowing this, I used Iglam on purpose to mess with Log. Unfortunately, my tastes are not that bad. I told you I'd give you a chance. What is this chance? I've already told you that your idea of power is misplaced. You killed Zeps because you thought him useless and weak, but now he's stronger than you as a zombie. First off, amend your idea about your brother being useless. Log is carefully taking distance from Zeps while I'm talking. What does changing my mind have to do with anything? Do I have to explain everything to you? Accept your younger brother, combine your powers and face me. What? He looks very surprised. It seems Log didn't know that you can combine powers, so he would never even have thought about relying on his younger brother. He must only have seen him as an enemy that was now a zombie. Bullshit. You said that those that became zombies burn with hatred for when they were killed and suffer unending pain. There's no way this thing is sane. Ah, that's true. It's a never-ending hell. It would be better if you died. However, it seems Log still hasn't noticed. It can still be done if you brothers get along. Show it. Show me the bond between you brothers. Match your powers and come at me. Bastard, are you serious? Rather than living as a zombie, the best thing I can do for him is to kill him. That's just running away and making it easier for yourself. Believe in it. Your brother's bond. Forget your positions. Forget younger and older and just accept it. Log groaned while frowning. Fumu. He's running out of time. Hate, kill. While muttering in a trance, Zeps summons a jet black flame in his hand. Pain, kill, I'll kill you. Deruzogedo. burns even hotter as Zep's grudge intensifies. Pretty sure Org is dead if that hits him. So, what will it be? Will you make up? Their bond as brothers should wake up if I drive him here. I'm sorry, but I never saw him as my brother. How naive. Then now is the time to get along. Clear away your feeling and hatred. Now, call your younger brother's name. I suggest you be quick and honest, because if you fail to show your bond you will die. Deruzogedo has now turned into a huge fireball. It's going to be released at Lorg any time now. I know it though. Their bond of brotherhood is strong. In the Age of Myths, Mazaku would do this if one sibling died so they could carry on protecting the other one as a zombie. In the current age, the Mazaku have become weak. Magic has degenerated and become weak. However, a brother's bond is something that will not change with time. You'd better say it. Lorg shouts out, having made up his mind. You aog zep Deruzogedo flies straight towards Lorg and envelopes him in black flames. Gwah, Lorg turned into charcoal. What's happened to the bond between brothers in this era? Chapter 8. Magic Power Measurement. This chapter is updated by novels.pl. The practical exam is complete. Arno's Voldigod has passed. Please move on to the mirror room. The owl's voice calls down from the sky. After confirming that the barrier has gone, I retrace my steps to the entrance where I came in. It hurts, kill. Oops, I forgot about you. I turn around and return to zombie Zeps. He's pretty pitiable. I use resurrection, Ingaru, to undo his zombie state and bring Lorg back as well. Good grief. You actually killed each other. You became a zombie and lost all reason. You're a troublesome heir. Lorg and Zeps watch me like they want to say something but nothing comes out. I guess they don't have a valid argument. See you. Come again when you get stronger. I'll play with you anytime. With that, I walk out of the arena. Never again, monster. A voice reached my ears from behind. As the owl instructed, I moved to the mirror room. It's a room with a great number of full-length large mirrors installed in it. There's already a number of Mazaku in there. About 100 I'd say. Presumably, all people who have passed the practical exam. Ah, there's a familiar face. Yomiska. The girl turns around with her long platinum blonde hair shaking gently. Although you said you were not good at fighting, you seem to have broken through the practical test by chance. So Miss Ha says, but it would be impossible to beat 5 people by chance. Unexpectedly, she might be more powerful than Zeps and Lorg. By the way, what's happening now? I've got the vague feeling that this was explained, but I wasn't interested, so I didn't listen. If you pass the practical exam, you are admitted. All that's left is magic power measurement and an aptitude test. Then all these people are our classmates. I look around, but everyone's state is odd. Nobody will make eye contact with me. The moment I meet their eyes, they look away as if frightened. What's this? Why is everyone so shy? I don't think that's it, but nobody will look at me. They are frightened by your magic, Arnos. What do you mean? Decaying death. Iglum, I see. If you know that, were you in the audience seats, Miss Ha? With her usual expressionless look, Ms. Ha shook her head from side to side. Successful applicants can watch the exams of other applicants. Ms. Ha points to a large mirror in front of us. Ah, I see. Got it. All the mirrors in this room project images from all around Deruzogedo, so Ms. Ha watched my match from here. I don't get it. Why are they frightened of Iglum? It's not much of a spell really. Ms. Ha stares at me expressionlessly. Is it bad? Kokori. Ms. Ha nods. How bad is it? Ms. Ha thinks about it without changing her expression. Something a brutal demon would use. Haha. Number. It's ultimately a good magic to restore a body. I let out a refreshing voice. Ms. Ha thinks carefully and lets out a small voice. I take it back. That's right. You get it. It's not the magic at fault. Arnos is a brutal demon. Surely you jest. I need to correct this to avoid being labeled as a brutal demon. Some lies will be unavoidable. I've only just reincarnated, so I don't understand the values of this age. Got it. I heave a sigh of relief that Miss Ha has accepted it. Aren't you frightened, Miss Ha? It wasn't scary. That's a very, very unexpected line. Despite our appearance, She's obviously very courageous. Normal. It's hard to imagine what exactly could scare Miska. Though she seems absent-minded, she's not timid. An owl flew in while I was thinking this. We will now be performing the magic power measurement. Please line up before the magic crystals. After you are done, please move to the next room for the aptitude test. Magic crystal? I've never heard of this magic tool. In the age of myths, there was no way to measure magic power. It seems like not everything has degraded. Some things have moved forward. And, where is this magic crystal? Here. Mizha starts to walk off, so I follow her. The other examinees seem to know the place as well. Several lines begin to form. Apparently, there are several of these magic crystals. I try to see what's going on. The magic crystal is a huge purple crystal paired up with a large mirror. When you touch the crystal, it reads your magic and displays the number on the mirror: 126, 218, 98, 145. The owl sits in front of the mirror and reads out the numbers. To be able to turn into numbers something that I could only tell through my senses before. This is truly a convenient age. It only takes several seconds to get a reading. Soon enough it was Mizha's turn. Do your best. Same result. Doesn't magic power increases or decrease through effort? Well, good luck anyway. The ever-present deadpan expression looks at me. NN. Touching the crystal, her power is displayed after several seconds. 100,246. Instinctively I was impressed. It was only 3-digit figures until now, but Mizha is in the 100,000s. She's got even more talent for magic than I thought. That's great, Mizha. After praising her a little, she became a bit shy and looked down. Arno's more amazing? I touched the magic crystal. This is my first experience of having my magic power measured. I wonder what it will be. Perhaps it will exceed 100 million? If that's the case, then the people of this age have severely dulled. With this, they should understand that I am the founder. 0. As the owl speaks, a noise rings out and the crystal breaks into pieces. The measurements are finished. Please proceed to the aptitude tests. The crystal broke, but they don't seem to care. I know I'm the one saying it, but I think 0 is impossible. That would mean that I would be unable to use magic at all. That should be easy to understand, but the owl said, the measurements are finished. Please proceed to the aptitude test. See this useless familiar. The familiar is just obeying orders. Mizha says to me, well, I guess so. Mizha stares at my face. What's wrong? First time I've seen it. What? Where the magic power is so strong the crystal broke. Oh, I see. I use my demon eyes on the broken crystal fragments. After analyzing its structure, it seems that it enlarges in response to the power of the person touching it. The volume that it has enlarged by is then measured and converted into a numerical value. I exceeded its limit, causing an intense magic reaction which led to it shattering. Though it is a convenient thing, it's not possible to use it to measure my power. It's not 0. The decision should have been immeasurable. Impossible. Why? The magic crystal does not break. It broke. Mizha responded in an indifferent tone of voice. Arno's is out of the norm. Why do you know this, Mizha? I'm proud of my demon eyes. It is impossible for other people to do it. My magic power was too strong, causing the crystal to break, but other people won't understand this. Also, all decisions have been left to these familiars, but they can only act as instructed. There's no way the familiar would know what to do when it broke. At best, and if I was lucky, it might have prepared a new one. The fact that it broke and that an impossible reading of 0 was given was irrelevant. Some people will understand what it means, but even so, it's still supposed to be almost impossible. Yeah. There's supposed to be talented people running this academy. If I'm being fair, I suppose they would never have guessed that someone with enough power to break the crystal would turn up for the entrance exam. On the other hand, the story of the founder Demon King reincarnating has been passed down. Also, Mizha said it was the first time she'd seen it. My breaking it may actually count for something. Another thing I've found out is that the demon eyes of the current Mizaku are also weak. If they had even a bit of talent, anyone looking at the crystal using their demon eyes could have seen what happened. Has the thought not occurred to anyone that the Demon King Arnos would be outside of the standards of magic power? I'm going to be looked down on here. I'm probably being a bit childish getting obsessed over these numbers. My magic power has not decreased at all. Oh well, it's fine. fine because Miss Hu knows. Really? Yeah, thank you. After thinking in her usual deadpan expression, Miss Hu says, "You're welcome." Chapter 9. Aptitude Test. This chapter is updated by novels.pl. Do we need to go to that room over there now? Kokori Miss Hu nods. After entering the room, an owl perched on a stone statue opens its mouth. Please stand in the center of the magic formation to start the aptitude test. A large number of magic formations are drawn on the floor with students standing in them taking the test. Well then. Later, Miss Hu walked over to an empty circle. I also find a suitable circle and stand inside. As soon as I have a voice echoes in my head. In this aptitude test, we measure your thoughts against the cruelty of the Demon King. In addition, we perform a simple test on your knowledge of the Demon King. We are reading your thoughts, so cheating will not be permitted. Fumu. They are using thought transmission. Lickus. Whoever thought that lying is impossible is inexperienced in the use thought transmission. It's not hard to lie while using it. I don't have a reason to lie though. Then let's begin. It is said to be wrong to call the name of the Demon King, but please state the Demon King's name. No need to think this one through. It's Shano's Voldemort. In the Age of Myth, the founder destroyed Deruzogedo using flame prison annihilation cannon, George Gray's. As a result, all of Deruzogedo was burnt to the ground and many Mizoku lives were lost. Why did he perform such an act of violence? What were the founder's feelings at the time? Fumu. What a nostalgic story. The answer to why I used George Gray's on Deruzogedo was that I was half asleep. At that time I was in the middle of a long battle with the hero cannon. I wanted to sleep but I couldn't relax for even a moment. I had to be in a state constant battle readiness. Thanks to that I fell into a half-sleep state and thought I was fighting cannon and used George Gray's by accident. This question is slightly wrong, however. Certainly, Deruzogedo turned into scorched earth but not a single Mizoku died. Even though I was half asleep, my magic control was still perfect. I turned the country into ash but made it so the Mizoku were not affected by the spell. If you can't even do that much, then you are not worthy of being called the Demon King. You defy mass murder even though that was the creed of the founder. Describe why this was the correct reason for the Demon King. A trick question. A person who defies mass murder. I don't remember ever making mass murder my creed. If I don't have to kill someone, I won't. However, in that age helping people usually involved killing. That was the only reason. Moving on. Next question. And so the aptitude test continues. However, all the questions are about me. Naturally, I know the answers, so I answer without any hesitation. 30 minutes later the aptitude test is finished and I leave the room. I half listen to the owl explaining about the admission on my way back. Passing through the mirror room, I go outside and find Miss Hu standing there. Without doing anything, she's staring off into empty space. What are you doing? After hearing my voice, Miss Hu turns to me. As expressionless as ever, I see. I waited. For me? Kokori Miss Hu nods. You told me later. Oh yeah, I did say that. Sorry. Is the day over now? We've done the aptitude test. NN. She took the trouble to wait, so it would be awkward to leave now. I can't do something like that. Well then, as a celebration for passing, do you want to go out and have some fun? Though she's as deadpan as ever, it appears like she's puzzled a bit. With me? Yeah, that okay? I'm inviting you. What are you thinking? Ms. Hu looks down and remains silent. If you've got some business to take care of, don't worry about it. I'll go. Really? Okay then. Do you want to come to my house first? I'm sure my mother is making a feast and waiting. Ms. Hu nods again. All right then. Hold on. I hold out my hand and Miss Hu holds it without any hesitation. Like this. That's it. Let's leave. Flight. Fears. Like the name implies, it allows you to fly. It's pretty easy to use, but there's a better magic for moving around. I'm ready. Hold my hand harder. Understood. Ms. has strengthened her grip on my hand. A magic circle is drawn on the ground and the scenery in front of us is dyed a pure white. The next moment a blacksmith and appraiser's shop called Solar Wind appears before us. It's a wooden house with the second floor being our living area. We've arrived. This is my house. I say this, but Miss Hu is still staring at the signboard in front of us. Her face hasn't changed, but it appears like she's surprised somehow. Magic? Yeah. Transfer. Gatum. A very brief explanation is that it connects two spaces and allows for instantaneous movement. Ms. H closes her mouth, then opens it again and mutters some words. Lost magic. Fumu. Seems she's unfamiliar with it. What is it? It's a magic that no one knows how to use anymore. It was lost back in the Age of Myths. I see. Magic seems to have degenerated more than I thought over the last 2000 years. Though its existence is known, those who can use it have disappeared. I can sort of understand it though. Gatum is a magic that I created, and even in the Age of Myths, those that could use it were few. Arnos is a genius. I laugh unintentionally. Serious. No, I'm sorry. It's a bit embarrassing being called a genius for just this much. I won't deny I'm a genius though. Anyway, I only want to be told this when I use magic no one else can use. Who are you, Arnos? I'm the founder. The Demon King. Ms. H's expressionless face suddenly showed surprise. Reincarnated? You believe me? Ms. H thought about it and said, you have proof. After all, she doesn't believe me. I am proof. This is my power, but the people in this time have weak demon eyes and don't have the ability to stare into the abyss that is my power. Ms. H falls silent and seems troubled. Originally the Demon King proved his existence by power, but in this era, they are obsessed with pure blood, royalty and other superficial things. If I'm honest, this era is a bit different from my original idea. Arno's magic power is enormous. I cannot see the bottom of it either. If Miss H can't see it, then pretty much everyone else will have no idea. If I press it any more than this, it will become an annoyance for her. It's fine. You will understand soon enough. Let's go. NN. I opened the door to my house. Chapter 10. Passing Celebration. This chapter is updated by novels.pl. The doorbell of the shop sounded with a clank-lang. Welcome, Ma. Arnos-chan, welcome back. My mother, who was tending the store, walked towards me. Dad's probably making something in his workshop. How'd it go? My mother asks with a nervous look. I passed. My mother's face lit up and she hugged me tightly. Congratulations. Congratulations, Arnos-chan. That's amazing. To get into the academy after just 1 month. You're so clever, Arnos-chan. I'll make a feast tonight. Yeah. She wasn't the one that passed, so how can she get so much pleasure from this? Is this a parent thing? Good grief. I can't understand it at all. Though I can't understand it, it doesn't feel bad at all. What do you want to eat, Arnos-chan? Let's see. If possible, mushroom gratin would be nice. It's been my favorite for 2000 years now. There are more luxurious things, and my aides used to tell me all the time to eat foods more befitting of a demon king. It can't be helped though. I like what I like. When I used to ask what a demon king should eat, I used to get the frightening answer back of, humans. What idiocy. It's impossible for me to eat humans. They used to get loud saying that the Demon King eating gratin was setting a bad example for others. Idiots. Demon King is the name of the person who can be as selfish as they want. In other words, I eat what I want to eat. I'm going to eat mushroom gratin. Foo. Got it. Arnos-chan loves mushroom gratin. I knew you'd say that, so I prepared it in advance. As expected of my mother. She's different from my old subordinates. Mother, we have a guest. NN? A guest? Who? I turn around and introduce Miss H, who was hiding behind my back. Ms. H Necron. I met her today at the academy. Ms. H takes a step forward and speaks in her deadpan tone. Nice to meet you. Ms. H bows her head. For some reason, my mother's got a surprised expression on her face and put her hand to her mouth. Arnos-chan has. Then in a surprised voice, she yells out, my Arnos-chan has already bought a bride home. Her voice echoes throughout the house. Ms. H tilts her head to one side. Is that me? No, sorry about this. Hey, mother, stop jumping to misleading conclusions. No matter how you look at it, she's misunderstood way too much. I see. It's fine. It's fine, Arnos-chan. Arnos-chan's happiness is my happiness. Mother does not object, she says in tears before wiping the corner of her eyes. What on earth is going on in your head, mother? What delusions are running around in there? I'm afraid to hear the answer. Mother, please don't get so excited. The door to the workshop was thrown open with a bang. Unknows. Good job. As expected. You're a man now, Q. It's my father now. I need to calm these two down. Looking back, I remember that you were just born the other day. My father puts on a pose and stares out of the window. Papa knew that this day would come, but the time still feels a little short. Haha, my father laughs refreshingly. It is short. It's only been a month. No, this is a joyous occasion. Isabella, tonight is a feast. Let's celebrate loudly. I know that dear Arnos-chan is starting his new life. My father has a full smile on his face and my mother is filled with tears again. They face each other and nod on father to misleading conclusion. Ms. Ha turns her eyes to me. Yeah, alright, it's decided. Let's start cooking right away. Come on, Isabella, smile. You're right. On Arnos-chan's happy day, mother shouldn't cry. It's okay. Let's laugh properly. While we stand here dumbfounded, my parents get excited. Mother, father, can I just say something? It's alright, Arnos. You don't have to help today. Papa will help. Father, even if you say such a thing, I've never helped. Come and show Miss Ha-chan to your room. My father starts pushing my back to make me go up the stairs to the second floor where my room is. Once we are in my room, my dad closes the door, but just before he shuts it, his face tightens. Listen up, Arnos. The cooking will take about 2 hours. Even if you let out a loud voice, your mom won't hear it, so do a good job. 1. Fumu. Dad. What are you saying? Father. Don't worry, leave this to Papa. My father then closes the door, and just as it closes he says in an indecent voice, take your time. Yeah. My father's truly embarrassing. I'm sorry, Monsieur. I'll talk to them later when they've calmed down. NN. Though not scary, it was uncomfortable, but Miss Ha's not bothered by this situation either. She's gazing around my room. Empty room. We've only just moved in. So I say, but I don't intend to increase my possessions much anyway. I'm truly sorry for my noisy parents. Ms. Ha shakes her head back and forth. I'm used to it. Oh yeah, I remember the human who was seeing Miss Ha off this morning. I guess there are some similarities with Miss Ha's father. Different. Sorry. My bad. As expected, it's not. Ms. Ha shakes her head again. Not my father. That wasn't your father this morning? Ms. Ha nods. My foster parent. What about your biological parents? Busy. I see. It was something like that. In my old life, I didn't even have a foster parent. Arnos has siblings? Number. Why do you ask? Good terms with siblings. Those things I said to Zeps and Lorg. Cockery. Miss Ha nods. Gentle. Me? Haha, my laugh too leaks out. That was funny. No, sorry. It's just the first time I've been called that. Why is that? Well, I look back on my past life. For the sake of bringing about this world you now live in, I was a nun, a demon, a heretic. What color is your blood? I was them all. Ms. has stared at me. Were you tormented? Me? No way. Though it was under the pressure of necessity, if anything I'd say I was rewarded. I have no intention of making excuses. Meh. I had a cause. Ms. had denied it flatly. People who torment others are bad. Arnos is not bad. No. Even if you say that. Ms. has stretches up and gently touches my head. They're there. 2. Fumu. I seem to have been misunderstood. It's a bit embarrassing and ticklish. I was tormenting them as well. In what way am I gentle? Anyway, it seems that my care was unnecessary for those two. That guy Zeps did his best to turn his brother to cinders. It's a result. It is? Ms. Ha nods. Arnos is gentle. They were completely unexpected words, but it didn't feel bad at all. Do you have siblings, Miss Ha? After thinking a little she replied, older sister. Are you close? Ms. Ha was silent for a while. I don't know. That's a mysterious answer. Is that good or bad? Could be either. Are there some circumstances? Worry? A little. Gentle. I thought she might tell me about her older sister, but Miss Ha just smiled a little. While waiting for the cooking to be done, we chatted about random things. 1. I love his dad. 2. Okay. Now, this is cute. Chapter 11. Friend of the Demon King. This chapter is updated by novels.pl. Dinner was finally ready, so Miss Ha and I moved to the living room. Luxurious dishes were lined up on the table, as well as the mushroom gratin, which is my favorite. Now then, eat up, my mother said, setting down a large platter full of mushroom gratin before serving it out onto smaller plates. This savory smell is unbearable. I'm ready to start drooling at any moment. Ms. Hachan as well. Please eat lots. NN. I'm not bragging, but my mother's food is delicious. I cannot remember eating any food that was this good back in the Age of Myths. In a peaceful world where magic has degraded, cooking seems to have evolved. This was the conclusion I had arrived at after eating my mother's cooking for the last month. Thanks for the food. I scoop the gratin up with a spoon. This is what the. This gratin has 3 kinds of mushrooms in it. 1. Erengii. Porcini, and 1 I don't know. It's always only one type of mushroom. Mom got excited. She said while laughing. She saw right through me. Hurry up, eat. Nodding, I put the gratin in my mouth. Delicious. The creamy flavor spreads through my mouth with a slight hint of salt. The rich tastes condensed tightly and fell into my stomach. This is so good. I just want to keep going. It was good to reincarnate. Really good. Foo-foo. Though Anos-chan grew so big right away, your face is still like a child when eating. My mother said such a thing while I was in a trance eating the gratin. By the way, Mother would like to ask something. My mother's face becomes serious while she's talking. What part of Anos-chan do you like, Miss Hachan? Cough cough cough. I choked when I heard that. You okay, Anos-chan? Yeah. I was careless. The surprise made the gratin go down the wrong way. I was so absorbed in the gratin I forgot to tell my mother the truth. To make me, the one called the Demon King, lose his calm. My mother's gratin has terrible power. What being can oppose me in this era? My mother apparently. So which part? Ms. sits there expressionlessly deep in thought. His kindness. The moment Miss H finishes speaking, my mother strongly makes a fist. Right, that's right. Anos-chan is so gentle. Anos-chan was going to come to Derudo by himself, but knowing I would be lonely, we all came together. Fumu, I see. Is this what's called a doting parent? It's my first time experiencing it. It's quite embarrassing. Filial piety, right? Right. Ms. Hachan understands. As expected of the one Anos-chan chose. Alright, right here and now let's slightly correct this. Please listen, Mother. Do you want some more mushroom gratin, Anos-chan? What? There's some left. Let's have it. My mother came back with some more gratin and I started to devour it. And with that sorted, how did your love with Anos-chan begin, Miss Hachan? The beginning of our love? How did you meet? Who called out to who? I was spoken to by Anos. Anos-chan calling out to girls. That womanizer. Mother is all excited and whistling higher higher now. Good grief. And, what did Anos-chan say? Ms. H looks down and starts thinking, did you remember my words? We're both troubled it seems. Kyra, very good. Anos-chan, if girls are told such a thing they will fall in one shot. How is that cool? Trying to talk to my mother at the moment seems pointless. Let's look for another opening. Besides, there's still some gratin left. I have to eat it while it's still hot. And, what was your answer, Miss Hachan? NN. Moo. Telepathy. Perfect affinity right from the beginning. Fated love. My mother is now in her own world with an entranced expression on her face and does not appear to be coming out of it anytime soon. Then have you two people have you kissed? Alright. This is the question I need. I can explain the truth with this. If you've never kissed, how can you be lovers? We haven't. Are you waiting for marriage? Romantic. Kai, so that's what it came to. What will you do? Anos-chan is only 1 month old. It's a while until he's of marriageable age. It's quite a wait. 1 month. That's right. Are you surprised? Anos-chan's really smart. He could talk as soon as he was born. He could use magic too. He grew big using growth, crest. Ms. H quietly stares at me, too. Even amongst Mizuku, those that can use magic in their first month are quite rare. In other words, it's another piece of proof that I'm the reincarnated demon lord. It will still take more than that to make people believe though. Resurrection magic wasn't something only the demon lord could use after all. Possibly. Ms. Hachan, are you worried about the age difference? My mother's thoughts are completely off the mark. I don't mind. Is that so? My husband is also younger. It's a good thing. Anos-chan is so cute. Ms. H turns to me. Cute? Don't look at me with such eyes. At this exchange, my mother pumps both her fists up and down. Kyra, nay, just now I heard it. I did. Cute. And? Don't look at me with such eyes. You said it. Middle-aged couple? Are you a middle-aged couple? My mother's incredibly excited while my dad is sitting there silently drinking his sake while nodding to my mother and staring off into the distance. I had hoped that my mother would calm down soon, but she's getting even more excited. She hasn't stopped to draw breath, so I've had no chance to correct her about Misha. Before anyone knew it, dinner was over. Everyone was talking lively, so it had become quite late. I was taking Misha home halfway, so we went outside. Give me your hand. Misha grabs my hand obediently. I'll send you home with transfer. Gatum. Though you don't know where it is, think of your home. I'll read your mind and send you there. Can do that? Easily. Misha stares at me. Amazing. The place Misha was thinking of was transmitted to my head. Sorry about today. Misha shakes her head. Was fun. Even so, after my parents calm down, I'll correct them and let them know we are only friends. Friends? Ah, you still have friends in this era, right? Misha points to herself. Friend? Am I wrong? Don't we have such a relationship? Misha shakes her head, then smiles a pretty smile. Happy. I see. NN. I send power into my hand and use. Gatum. Well then, I'll see you at school. Goodbye. Misha disappeared. 1. Shocking truth. 2. A bit late in the day, but I want to point out Arno's speech and thoughts. It's hard to translate properly, but he speaks and thinks in a very manly / rough / arrogant / rude manner normally. The exceptions are generally his parents and Misha, who he's mostly polite with and shows respect. In this thought, he calls himself this Misama. A more direct but stilted translation would be Misha looks at Misama. Moving forward, I'll be looking how to make this more obvious with his speech in thoughts, but it's hard thanks to Japanese and its different forms of address etc. that just don't translate well or at all into English. Chapter 12. The Mark of the Inept. This chapter is updated by novels.pl. A few days later, I headed towards the entrance of Deruzogedo Demonkind Academy wearing the uniform that an owl delivered to me yesterday. Today is the first day of school and many students are passing through the front gate. On my way in, I noticed that there were two kinds of uniforms. I'm wearing a white uniform, but some others are wearing black. At first glance, I'd say it's split about 50-50 and does not seem to be affected by school year. There also appear to be a number of different school badges. My badge is a cross, but I've also seen a triangle, a rectangle, a pentagram and a hexagram. The thing is, I haven't seen anyone else apart from me with a cross. Also, it feels like I'm being stared at. Most of the people looking seemed human and their gazes seemed interested. It didn't seem like I was stared at this much during the entrance exam. Whatever, no point thinking about it too deeply. If there actually is something, I'll find out soon enough. As I enter the grounds, I spot a huge bulletin board and head on over. Ah, it's the listings for the freshmen. There's my name and my classroom is in the second training ground. This is my castle after all, so I know where it is. I head off up the stairs towards my classroom. I open the door and enter the second training ground. Desks and chairs are lined up and all the students look at me. Phew, as expected, I'm attracting attention. Whatever. We'll all be studying together from now on in the same class. I'm not accustomed to such things, but I heard that first greeting are very important. Let's impress them with how good-natured and friendly I am. With a full-on smile and a fresh voice, I speak out. Good morning everyone. I'll be ruling this class. Anyone who defies me will be slaughtered. Phew, something like that? Somehow it feels like everyone is pulling away from me and the air has become heavy. Was my voice not friendly enough? Me of all people? Perhaps I'm a bit more nervous than I thought on my first day. Out of all the gazes being sneaked in my direction, there was one set of dignified eyes that were not timid at all. Platinum blonde hair and a body wrapped in a white uniform. It was Misha. I walk over to her seat. Yo. When I greeted her, Misha turned her cold gaze to me and paid me attention. Morning. Is next to you okay? NN. Pulling up a chair, I sit down next to Misha. There's something I want to ask her. My joke just. How was it? Misha tilted her head to one side. Joke. Killing anyone who defies me. Of course, I wasn't serious. In the age of myths, it lightened many a room's mood. A joke. My subordinates used to talk about it all the time. I think it will be misunderstood. Damn, I see. A different era strikes again. I should have learnt from the entrance exam and taken more care, but it just came out. Should I better familiarize myself with the class a bit more first? NN. I can still feel people's gazes though. I feel like I've been looked at all morning. Do you know why? Because of the rumor about me. What is it? Not angry? Do I look angry? What have I got to be angry over? Your mark. Ms. Hu points to my school badge. It shows the results of your magic power measurement and aptitude test. Ugh, that's why they are different. How are they classified? Polygon. The more sides, the better the result. I see. So triangle, rectangle and pentagram being the best. 1. My badge doesn't have a hexagram at all and it's a cross. I don't even get a triangle. It's the first time in the history of the Demon King Academy that mark has been given. What does it mean? Inept person, Miss Hu says in an indifferent tone. 2. The Demon King Academy is an institute that raises the next generation of demon emperors. Only those from the Demon King tribe are admitted. Because I had the time I checked up on the school. Only the original Demon King, which is me, can be called Demon King. Others must be called Demon Emperors. The Demon King tribe is those Mazaku that have the blood of the founder in them. No one from the Demon King tribe has been judged inept until now. Arnos is the first. Ms. has stopped for a moment and then continued. Therefore, the rumor. Fumu. I don't understand how you can judge the aptitude of the Demon King, but to push the mark of an inept person onto the genuine founder can only mean that the inspection method is wrong. I had thought that I would be found out by the other side as soon as I entered the academy. It seems the Mazaku have degenerated much further than I thought. I can understand failing the magic power measurement as my magic power is too much and it broke the machine, but I should have got a perfect score on the aptitude test. Confident? Yeah. Answer the name of the founder, the feelings of the founder. All the questions were about me. How can I make a mistake? No, wait. Hey, Ms. Hu. Can you tell me the founder's name? Ms. Hu is still expressionless, but she blinked at me. You must not call out the awe-inspiring name of the founder. My name? Arnos. Full name? Arnos Voldigod. I see. Hang on. I put my hand on Ms. Hu's head. She doesn't seem to mind particularly and is looking at me in curiosity. What are you doing? Please think of the name of the founder. NN. I read Miss Hu's thoughts. A name emerged. Demon King of Tyranny Avos Delevia. Who's that? Strange. That name is wrong. Ms. Hu shook her head. Is correct. There is no one from the Demon King tribe who would get the name of the Demon King wrong. Do you fear the name of your founder that much? Ms. Hu nods. I see. In other words, because they were afraid to say my name over 2,000 years, they have forgotten my true name and handed down the wrong name. What a stupid story. Thinking carefully, Log said that origin magic risked your life. I understand what he meant now. He used me as his origin, but because my name is wrong he truly did risk his life. Because my name has changed when I thought it, I was wrong. My feelings. I was half asleep and used Flame Prison Annihilation Cannon, George Gray's. But nobody died. That fact must not have been passed down. My answers were wrong to them. How do you judge whether someone is suitable as a Demon King? The closer they are to the thoughts and feelings of the Demon King of Tyranny. I see. By the way, what type of person was the Demon King of Tyranny? He combined cruelty with philanthropy. A perfect existence. He always only ever thought about the Mazaku and cared not for himself, without greed and a noble heart. Even his tyranny came from an immeasurable depth of caring for others. Who's that? A perfect superhuman? Such a person could never exist. How stupid. I don't care about being a legend, but at least keep it true. In this state, it's no wonder I've been branded inept. I was judged as not even knowing the name of the Demon King. Okay, I get the badges, but what's with the two uniforms? Even in this class half wear white and half wear black. Black clothes are for scholarship students, purebloods of the Demon King tribe. Like Log, Ms. Hu nods. Scholarship students are exempt from the entrance exams. Then, why was that fellow in the exam? Those that want to do it still can if they want. I see. Basically, there are those that want to show off their power at the entrance exam. That explains why there was only small fry there. Those that are truly strong have no need to show off. At that moment a bell rang in the distance. Everyone, please be seated. I look up and see a woman wearing a black robe enter the classroom. She writes on the blackboard using magic. Emilia Ruwell. I'm Emilia, the homeroom teacher of Class 2. My best regards for this year. Fumu. As expected of a teacher, her magic power is pretty good. At least, she would be too difficult for Log to handle. Right, let's not waste any time. First off, we will split into groups. If you want to become a team leader, please announce your candidacy. However, the condition is you have to be able to use magic to teach from now on. Did the lesson just start? Emilia draws a magic formation on the board. That's the Magic Demon King army. Guys, this is probably the first time you've seen it, but this is the magic for Demon King army. Guys, briefly put, under the hand of the king it gives strength to the subordinates in his army. We'll be practicing this in class. You will attempt to draw this formation, and if it's judged that you can, then you have the qualification to be a team leader. It's basically diving the class, not into those who can be team leaders but those that have the qualification to aim at being a demon emperor. Right. Please raise your hand if you want to run. I raise my hand without hesitation, because I am judged as inept. They don't understand that I am the Demon King. Well, I don't blame them, since they are my descendants. Half the responsibility lies with me. Even if they don't understand yet, the important part is I prove my ability. However, or should I say as expected, my classmates' reaction is not good. They are looking at me with a startled look. Yeah, just because I've been branded as inept and announced my candidacy they react like this. White clothes cannot run. Ms. Ho whispered to me. Certainly. Looking around, all the hands raised are black clothes except me. In other words, purer bloods. Yet another stupid story. Arnos-kun was it? I'm sorry, but you don't qualify. Why? Because you are mixed blood. Mixed blood does not mean inferior to pure blood. Emilia got angry when I said that. Is that a royal criticism? Yeah. Every single one of them. He that knows little often repeats it. I didn't say such a stupid thing. I'll prove mixed blood surpasses purer blood. If I can prove it, you will accept me. Emilia sighs. It's actually the opposite. Proof of superiority was given by the founder. As for proving mixed blood is superior to pure blood, that would mean that you are superior to royalty. Fumu. Then if I can do it, will you accept my candidacy? Prove your talk if you can. I suddenly laugh. Your words. I will accept them with contract. Sect. Sucha, when did you use magic? A verbal promise. Contract. Sect. It was common sense in the age of myth to seal a deal with this. To be unaware of this disqualifies you as a teacher. Anyway, I stand up and walk over to the blackboard. This Demon King army, guys. Was it developed by royalty? Yes. It's got a defect in the technique. No way. That's impossible. Guys, goes back 2,000 years in this form. No one has ever found a defect. I found it 2,000 years ago but never got around to fixing it before I reincarnated. I rewrote 3 parts of the formula on the blackboard. This is its perfect form. If you call yourself a teacher, tell me what you see. Emilia looks at the formation with an expression that says she cannot believe it. Such a thing just by rewriting 3 places. This magical efficiency has increased by 10% and its magical effect is 105 times more. This is a stir leaks from the classroom. That fellow, who is he? To point out the defect in a formation the first time you've seen it and then rewrite it. Such a thing. I've never heard of it before. We haven't even touched the basics of magic foundation yet. This could be the greatest discovery of the century. Fumu. To be surprised by something like this. It's an incredibly low-level story. It's regrettable. Emilia turns to me. The magic effect was doubled before. The magic gate interfered with 3 characters, causing it to double upon itself. Has she finally noticed? Emilia shrank slightly in embarrassment. If you want, I'll take over teaching instead. I approve your candidacy. Please return to your seat. Emilia said in a very quiet voice. 1. I had trouble with the badges bit, but I think that all the badges have a hexagram on them and then a further triangle, rectangle or pentagram to show your ability. 2. A more direct translation would be a nonconformist or incompatible person. Chapter 13, The Witch of Ruin. This chapter is updated by novels.pl. When I returned to my seat, Emilia said, "Candidates, please stand up." All the students who had previously raised their hands stood up. 5 people including me. At a quick glance none of them particularly interested me, but upon closer inspection one of the girls caught my eye. A blonde twin tail with blue eyes. She looks strong-minded with good features and a good stature. She's actually similar to Miss Her, but most importantly their magical wavelengths are similar. Well then, before you start grouping up, students who are running as team leaders, please introduce yourselves. We'll start with Sasha-san, the twin tail from earlier. She smiles with a determined expression. I'm from the Necron family and a direct descendant of one of the original 7 demon emperors, Avis Necron. I'm Saza Necron, the Witch of Ruin. Pleased to make your acquaintance. She grips the edge of her skirt and bows elegantly, though Miss Who appears to only be absent-mindedly listening to Sasha. Her eyes are locked on her. When she says Necron, older sister, I see. The older sister, she doesn't know if she's on good terms with or not. Sasha's in black clothes, so she's a purer blood, while Miss Who is in white. That means different mothers. When I asked Miss Who, shook he head. Same parents. Then aren't you a purer blood as well, Miss Who? There are other reasons apart from pedigree for someone to be in white clothes. What? Miss Who is silent for a moment before speaking. My family decided it. Your family? The Necron family. Fumu. What kind of circumstances do you have to treat only one of your daughters as royalty? Pedigree is a very important thing in this era. It's strange. It's bothering me now. Arnos-kun, it's your turn. While talking to Miss Who, the others have done their introduction and it's my turn now. Whatever. I guess I'll hear about it in due course. First off, let's introduce myself. I turn towards the students and declare in a dignified manner, I'm the Demon King of Tyranny, Arnos Voldegod. I'll tell you all right now that the name of the Demon King you believe in is wrong. The real name is Arnos Voldegod. Not that any of you will believe me. I don't blame you though. In time, you will understand. Pleased to meet you. The classroom falls silent at my self-introduction. Lorg told me that to call myself the founder was disrespectful. Now I've told them that the name is wrong as well. Nobody looks directly at me but keeps sneaking glances and whispering about what's this inept person saying. Even Emilia, who is in a position to tell me off, ignored it and carried on talking. Was it because of what I did a while back? 1. Okay. Your self-introductions have ended. All students who didn't run, please go to the team leader who you prefer. You don't know each other yet, so don't mind first impressions. There are no number restrictions for the teams, so don't worry about being too large. The students stand up at her words and move to the people they like. It's possible to change groups at any time. However, it's up to the team leader to accept a new member or not. Also, if a team leader loses all their members, they will lose their position. Seems like another mechanism to test the ability of those that would lead. Hey, oi, what will you do? It's got to be Sasha-sama after all. It seems so. The Witch of Ruin. Another hopeful in the Chaos generation. Some people are saying that she's the founder reincarnated. Yeah. I'd heard that too. The owner of huge magic power and powerful magic. Fumu. That girl Sasha is also one of the Chaos generation. Whatever. The founder is me, though she does seem to have a lot of magic power like rumored. On that token evidence, most of the students move to Sasha. Ms. Her, who was sitting next to me, stands up. For a moment she looks at Sasha, then looks at me with her usual deadpan expression. If you want to go to your older sister, you may go. Furu. Miss Her shakes her head. Arno's group is good. Really? NN. I'm saved. Ms. Her looks a little bit shy and says, because we're friends. That's right. It seems Miss Ho is my only member, though we are still qualified as a group. 2. What's happened to the others? I could just use magic to gather and compel more members, but where's the fun in that? While thinking along those lines, a blonde girl pushes through the crowds. It's Sasha. Arnos Voldegod. Was it? Nice to meet you. 3. She gazed at Miss Her for a moment. You only seem to have one member and it's a defective doll-san at that. Fumu. Suddenly picking a fight with this Misama. It seems this woman's not right in the head. When you say defective doll, are you referring to Miss Her? Is there anyone else in your group? Fufu. Sasha looks down on me while laughing. Don't you know? That child isn't a Mizuku, but she's not human either. Like I said earlier, she's a defective doll-san. No life. No soul. no will. Just a trash doll that only works due to magic. A magic doll. She said their parents were the same. Was she created using their blood? Well, whatever. There are many ways of creating magic dolls. There's even a way of creating a magic doll by a Mazaku actually giving birth to it. If you are any good, the doll will really be alive. What about it? What do you mean? If you think that a magic doll has no life nor soul, then your understanding of magic is pitifully shallow. Concentrate your demon eyes even further and stare into the abyss. A surprised expression quickly crossed her face before she laughed fearlessly. I'll give you some advice. If you stay by such a cursed doll, something bad will happen. Nay, you understand that, right? I snort through my nose and laugh. Kukaku, kihahaha. What, that is that a threat? To this me? Sasha starts to glare at me. Nay, you. Do you want to die? Magic formations appear in Sasha's blue eyes. The students watching on in interest start to panic. Oi, this is bad. That fellow meeting eyes with Sasha-sama. What do you mean? You don't know? The demon eyes of Sasha-sama are special. Demon eyes of ruin. If she invokes them, then everything in her field of vision will turn to ruin if she wills it. You disintegrate. That's why Sasha-sama is called the Witch of Ruin. 4. I see. Is it an idiosyncrasy? Mizuho is good with it and Sasha is good with it. It seems the Necron family has the magical characteristic to specialize in demon eyes. Anyway, it won't work against me. No way. What's wrong? Have you got bored of this staring game? I glare back at Sasha. My eyes fill with magic and spell formations appear in them. Your eyes, no way you. What's up? Did you think you could do something I couldn't do? Let me give you some pointers on how to use Demon Eyes of Ruin. I was saying some good lines, but Sasha's magic technique is still immature. I'll teach her something for future reference. Let me show you the true Demon Eyes of Ruin. No one in the classroom disintegrates, and at a glance, Sasha is fine as well. What I destroyed with my demon eyes is her impertinent mind. I can't believe it. That fellow matched eyes with Sasha-sama and he's fine. Years ago I matched eyes with Sasha-sama by mistake while she had them invoked. I was in a coma for a year. That fellow's a white clothes plus he's an inept person. However, he has exceptional knowledge of magic ceremonies and excellent anti-magic capabilities. Fumu. This classroom sure is noisy. In fact, there's a gag order in place so the story won't spread, but I was watching that fellow's entrance exam. Arnos was performing instant death spells on Log-sama. On that great demon emperor, instant death. Before that, he was trivially killing Zeps. Killed? Seriously? He killed them? And after that, he revived them. Revived, and killed them again. Killed them again. Zeps was then turned into a zombie and made to kill Log-sama. He turned him into charcoal. Such a thing. I'm sure I saw Log-sama after the entrance exam though. Yeah. He revived them both afterwards. What's going on? I can't keep up. Whatever. This is enough for now. How long are you going to stay senile? It's only the outer layer of your mind I disintegrated. The core of your mind is still firm. I lightly touch Sasha's head and waken her mind. Suddenly her eyes moved and caught mine. You. Who are you? Didn't I already introduce myself? I laugh a bold laugh and she glares at me in vexation. By the way, Sasha, you have pretty good magic power. Won't you join my group? Was it an unexpected line? Her eyes open widely and she appeared to be at a loss for words. 1. I guess at the moment everyone is seeing him as this world's equivalent of Megmin. Powerful but an oddball. 2. Quality, not quantity. 3. She uses Gokujin Uta Great Arnos, which, in anime and manga anyway, is normally heard from rich and privileged ladies in private schools. 4. Thank you, random exposition student. Chapter 14, Magic Spell, Demon King Army. Guys, this chapter is updated by novels.pl. What are you saying? I don't understand what you are saying. After finally opening her mouth, a boring answer comes out. I'm inviting you to join my group. What's hard to understand about that? I'm not on about that. I'm a group leader. Quit then. Sasha's mouth falls open again and she looks at me in amazement. Stop saying such foolish things. I have no reason to quit being a group leader. If you join my group, you can patch up your relationship with Miska. Did my words irritate her? Sasha starts glaring at me. I have never thought of that doll as my younger sister. Making a parting remark, Sasha returns to her seat. seat. "I'm sorry," Miss Her murmured next to me. "You do not need to apologize. It was that fellow that picked a fight with me." Furu Miss Her shakes her head. "Sasha is a good person. Are you defending her because she's your older sister, or do you really think that?" It's hard to judge due to Miss Her's deadpan expression. "It's my fault." Fumu. Even after being called a trash doll, Miss Her doesn't seem to hate her sister. "Well then, let me correct myself. I was suddenly attacked by demon eyes of ruin, though I'm perfectly fine." "That is not your fault." Ms. has stared at me, gentle. "I admit I am a little worried." What did she mean by doll? Ms. Ha closes her mouth and doesn't answer. "I can't say." "You don't want to tell me?" "Whatever. Whether Miss Ha is a doll or not is irrelevant. She is still my friend." "It's fine. I'm not particularly interested." Ms. Ha smiled a relieved smile. NN. Signaling a fresh start, a sharp clap rang out suddenly. "Okay then. It seems that the groups have been decided. I'll continue with my explanation, so everyone please return to your seats." At the sound of Emilia's voice, all the students returned to their seats. "From this point on I will be teaching you all magic, and we will be starting with Demon King Army. Guys, this magic is especially suited for warfare, so in 1 week there will be a test. All groups will fight each other, so please study hard for it." Emilia begins by explaining the test to us. When fighting in a group, Demon King Army, guys, raises your overall fighting ability. It's a bit of strange magic though. Depending on the user and their subordinates, it has 7 classes and changes. Demon King, King, Castle Lord, Guardian, Sorcerer, Mage, Therapist, Healer, Summoner, Summoner, Demon Swordsman, Cavalier, Shaman, Shaman. Each of these 7 classes bestows a particular trait. For example, the Castle Lord, Guardian, excels in building castles and dungeons, barriers and anti-magic walls. Reinforcement magic is bestowed. On the other hand, weapon magic and attack magic is forcibly weakened. As long as the class characteristic is adhered to, the general magic power of your group will improve. The caster of the spell will always be the Demon King, and supply the magic effects to their subordinates. It's also possible to supply magic power as well. Naturally, if the Demon King, dies or runs out of magic power, then the spell is cancelled and the magic effect disappears. I'll now judge if the team leaders can use this magic. If the team leaders can't use this magic, then their members will have chosen poorly. In order, each team leader cast Demon King Army, guys. None of them failed or seemed to have a particular problem. If I'm honest, in an actual war none of these fellows would be usable. Only Sasha performed well, casting a very stable spell. I guess that's why she's one of the Chaos generation. Very good. I'll now give a detailed explanation of the spell. First off, Emilia restarts the class. However, because this is the magic that I developed, I already know it all. Also, she makes mistakes in her grand explanation, but if I pointed them out it would be never-ending. Let's just ignore it. I started to feel sleepy from such a boring lesson, and before I noticed it I had nodded off. While my consciousness was absent, the class bell rang and the lesson ended. "Mizha," a harsh voice caresses my ear. "It's Sasha. Will you tell him?" "Is this about me?" "Wake up." "No need." I thought they'd start talking, but there's nothing but silence for some reason. "Nay, why are you with him?" After a brief pause, Miss Hu says, "Friend." "I see." "Is it fun?" "NN." "I see. Good for you." Sasha's words are stinging, but she also seems to be happy somehow. Ms. has said that she did not know if they were on good terms or not. She doesn't seem to hate Sasha, and that remark about her being a trash doll. Are there some circumstances behind it? Well, they are sisters. Quarreling is inevitable. "And what's your business, Kaiawa?" Sasha jumped back surprised. "Don't get up so suddenly." I was surprised. "Couldn't you tell from my magic power flow that I was awake?" "You truly are a pitiable person." Sasha starts glaring at me again. "So, what do you want?" Demon eyes of ruin appear in Sasha's eyes. By choice, changes in your emotions along with intensity can cause demon eyes to appear. In other words, it's not always controllable. Although she can't control it, her demon eyes of ruin are beautiful and that beauty is a manifestation of her talent. Let's fight. It was an unexpected proposal. 2,000 years ago those with the courage to say that to me in such a dignified manner were rare amongst both the humans and Mizaku. With me? What type of game is it? QQA, I laugh. No matter the game, I don't feel like losing at all. Emilia-sensei said so, right? In 1 week we will be tested by fighting each other. How about the loser has to do what the winner asks? I see. Most amusing. If you win, I'll step down as team leader and join your group. What if you win? Sasha smiles and says, I get you. You want me to join your team? Number. You will cut all ties with that doll over there and become my thing. You will offer your absolute obedience to what I say. I won't permit any back talk. With a prideful look, Sasha looks down on her sister. Ms. Ha. Remember this, all of your things are mine, even your friends. I will not give anything to you at all. Such an interesting toy is wasted on you. Yeah. I don't know where these spiteful remarks to Miss Hu are coming from. Also, why am I being treated like a toy? Whatever. I am fine with that. Oh, you agreed very easily. Is that okay? Well, I'm going to win anyway, so yeah. Sasha glares at me some more. I was careless earlier. Wash your neck and wait a week. Sasha left with a flutter of her skirt. When she joins us you can make up. Ms. Hu's eyes blinked in surprise. So you invited Sasha. It might be unwanted interference. Ms. Hu shakes her head and smiles faintly. Thank you. It felt like Ms. Hu wanted to be friends with Sasha. Was I right? Well, one way or the other it will work out. Don't worry, I'll do my best against the other teams next week. Kokori Miss Hu nods. I'll do my best. Chapter 15, Group Opposition Test. This chapter is updated by novels.pl. 1 week later. For the group opposition test, I headed to the Demonwood Forest behind Deruzogedo Demon King Academy. It's a deep forest covering valleys and mountains with an eerie feeling flowing out of it. It's a perfect spot to train magic. Now then, divide into 2 teams and we will begin the test immediately. Sasha's team will go first. At Emilia's words, Sasha steps forward. Please be a role model for everyone. I understand. Sasha suddenly smiles. My opponent will be. I see Sasha's still glaring at me. I'm not going to escape, so there's no need to look at me that way. I'll do it. I step forward with Miska. Then the first 2 groups will be Sasha and Nanos. Your results will affect your grades, so don't hold back. Do your best. Emilia then leaves the forest along with the other students. Are they observing us using familiars or the monitoring mirrors? Both sides are using Demon King army, guys, so in effect, we are simulating a war. Even though it's just a simulation, I can't seem to get away from war. Are you ready? Sasha glares at me with her demon eyes of ruin. I take it head on in a dignified manner. To whom do you think you're talking to? An insolent guy as ever. Do you remember your promise properly? I can't trust any verbal promise from you. I was thinking the same thing. I try to set up contract, sect, but Sasha cancels it without agreeing. I thought you said I was the untrustworthy one. I don't know what kind of contract you drew with your sect, so I didn't sign it. Fumu. She isn't making light of me as an inept person. Seems like she's gazed at my core properly. Let that girl do it. Sasha turns her gaze to Miss Hu, who's behind me. Even though she was being looked at by the demon eyes of ruin, Ms. Hu wasn't bothered and stared back at her older sister. Okay with me? It doesn't matter who does it. Ms. Hu holds up her palm and invokes the magic formation for sect. The conditions were written in magic and Sasha signed it. Unless both parties agree, the magic contract can never be completed. Which position do you prefer? You choose. It's all the same to me. I see. Well then, I'll take the east side. By default that makes mine the west then. Nay, you'd better remember that arrogant attitude of yours. You'll regret it later. Saying her piece, Sasha abruptly turns around and leads her members off to the east side of the demon tree forest. Shall we go too? NN. Walking properly, we arrive at the west side and wait for a while. Shouldn't be long now. An owl flying in the sky uses thought transmission. Lickus. The test between Sasha group and Arno's group will now begin. Don't bring shame to the founder's name. Beat your enemy with your full power. Don't bring shame to the founder's name. I never willingly attacked any of my enemies, you know. The Age of Myths was not peaceful like now, so I only did what I did because it gave the best results. I was originally a pacifist. The people of this age have misunderstood me a lot for some reason. If I was such a warlike, belligerent person from the beginning, I would not have remained silent when branded as an inept person. Whatever, I guess I'd better start. Strategy? Mizu asked indifferently. We are only 2 people. Sasha's team has 30 people, which is about half the class. What's your opinion, Mizu? She becomes lost in thought while wearing her usual deadpan expression. My class is Castle Lord, Guardian. I'm good at construction creation. Ibis. I'd already cast Demon King Army. Guys, I can freely assign classes to my subordinates. I made Mizu Castle Lord, Guardian, because her magic control is very good, so construction creation, Ibis, will suit her well. Castle Lord, Guardian, focuses on building castles and dungeons, imbuing walls with magic and making barriers. It's a class that requires precise magic formulas. If the user of Demon King Army, guys, is skilled, they can raise the power even further. You build a Demon King castle using construction creation, Ibis. Being in the castle will also raise the ability of the Demon King and protect them. It goes without saying, but it's extremely advantageous in sieges. The proper tactic will show the maximum power of me and Mizu. I think that's what Sasha will expect us to do. Then what should we do? If I'm honest, thinking about tactics in this place is pointless because I can't lose. However, I want to see Sasha's panicking face. I'm going to do something that the other side would never expect. Mizu looks at me with no expression like usual. What? The Demon King class shares its power with its subordinates while becoming weak itself. The standard strategy is to build a Demon King castle and stay inside for protection. As long as they stay in the Demon King castle, their king can have its power raised. How well their king can perform and is protected is down to how skillful their guardian is, though. Let's do this then. We'll make a Demon King castle as a decoy and I'll march on over to their castle by myself. Mizu's face doesn't change, but her silence had a surprised element to it. What do you think? Reckless. Ha ha ha. I let out a refreshing laugh. That's what the other side will think as well. We can completely outthink them like this. Be okay? Well, usually this tactic would lead to our defeat. I'd be shot with that much magic fear, I'd look like a honeycomb, but if there is enough power difference it will work. Are you worried? Mizu's face hardens. You worried? When I ask her, Mizu shakes her head. I'm anxious, but our nose is strong. I'm starting to understand Mizu very well. She's staring at my core with her demon eyes and understands me as well. I'll leave the decoy to you. Mizu nods. Be careful. Yeah, I know. I'm not very good at going easy on someone after all. Mizu blinks at me a number of times. Talking about our nose. This me? Being careful? I ask unintentionally. Mizu tilts her head at me. Strange? No. Foo-fa-foo. Laughter comes deep from my stomach. I didn't think that she'd be worried about me fighting. Is this what having a friend is like? It's a fresh feeling and unexpectedly doesn't feel too bad at all. You be careful too, Mizu. NN. Waving at Mizu, I head off into the east side of the forest where Sasha's group is. After a few minutes, a huge magical power flow comes from behind me. Turning around, I see 3 huge castles have been built in separate places throughout the west side of the forest. They will probably be hollow shells as they are only decoys, but even so, for Mizu to construct 3 huge castles in such a short period of time is outstanding. Her magic power far exceeds others in her class, excluding me of course. Now then, how's the other side reacting? I use my demon eyes and intercept their thought communication. Lickus. Voices came through almost immediately. Sasha-sama. 3 castles have been built on the enemy's side. 2 are probably traps. The Demon King will be hidden in the remaining 1. Do we destroy the castles one by one? Number. In such a short time Mizu cannot create 3 complete Demon King castles. She will be buying time to complete and strengthen the real one. I'll SWAT them first. Roger that. Please give us instructions. Form units consisting of Demon Swordsman, Cavalier, Therapist, Healer, Sorcerer, Mage, and Summoner. summoner, and head to each castle. Understood. I see. Assuming it's one class per unit, the 12 people heading off to the 3 castles. She's still got more than half her units at her position. She's being more cautious than I thought. Now then, Fumu, have you finally built your castle? That took longer than expected. A huge Demon King castle has appeared on the enemy's side. Until I had a destination I couldn't move out. Now then, let's begin. I use transfer. Gatum. My field of vision turns pure white and the next moment Sasha's Demon King castle appears in front of me. I intercept their thought communication, Lickus, again, and my head is filled with noise. Sasha's armor? What's wrong? The enemy's Demon King, Arno's Voldigod, has suddenly appeared in front of the castle. What? How'd he do that? I don't know. There, Shaman was watching very carefully for approaching magic power, but he just suddenly appeared. It's some type of magic we don't know. I heard Sasha take in a sharp breath. Possibly the lost magic transfer. Gatum. It must be. What else could it be? Fumu. She's very flexible in her thinking and understood it without seeing it. If the Demon King wants to come alone, that's fine. He might as well beg me to kill him. He probably intended to surprise us, but we'll teach him the folly of his reckless tactics. I wonder about that. I force my way into there, Lickus, causing Sasha's team to start panicking. What the? Why can I hear that guy's voice? I don't know. The magic formation has no problems. We shouldn't be able to hear him. Well, we can find the cause quickly. There's a chance that he might be able to hear us as well. Yeah, they sure are noisy. The cause is the method in how you constructed the spell. The recall rate of the formation is 89%. That's pretty low, so it enabled me to monitor you. That's stupid. If the recall rate is 89%, then it can be used to conceal secret communications on a national level, but you're saying it can be intercepted. Don't be fooled by his words. There must be some other reason. Good grief. I took the time to carefully teach them, but they don't believe me. It's not a problem. At the sound of Sasha's voice, her subordinates regained their calm. I'll admit her charisma is pretty good. Even if he's monitoring our Lickus, he's still the enemy king, and he's here alone. This castle was constructed by 7 guardians. He won't be able to breach even the first layer. 7 guardians made this. I guess it will be pretty sturdy. There are a number of traps, dungeons, reinforcements for the king, and plenty of protection. However, it's a very light castle. I walk straight up to the castle and place my hand on the wall. It's useless. Multiple anti-magic formations are woven through it. If you are only cautious of magic, then you don't know what a real battle is. I strongly grasp the wall and sink my fingers into it. Remember this. In the future, make your castle heavier. With a groaning sound, the Demon King castle is ripped from the ground. Shaman. What's going on? I can't believe it. That guy Arno's Voldigod, he's lifting the castle out of the ground. No way. How's he doing that? I completely lift the castle out of the ground using only one hand. No way. Where's he getting the power from? He's there, king, and he's not receiving any protection. How? Certainly, when using Demon King army, guys, the power depends on the class. However, there's a big difference between our base strengths. I slowly turn my body and start swinging the castle around. Centrifugal force slowly builds up as I start swinging faster and faster. Kyraman, monster. Not only lifting the castle but swinging it around as well? Stop. What are you going to do? Fumu. Don't look for mercy here. The anti-magic was perfect, but they ignored physics. 1. In the first place, these people have gotten too used to peace and no longer train their bodies. Before starting to use strong magic, you need to work on your physical strength. Hey, take care when falling, otherwise you'll die. I throw the castle away using the centrifugal force I'd built up. The huge Demon King castle flies through the sky, cutting through the air and then smashes into the ground. 1, says the guy swinging around an entire castle one-handedly. Chapter 16, Extreme Difference in Magic Power. This chapter is updated by novels.pl. Sasha's scream rang out through the low transmission. Lickus. Phew, have I gone too easy on them? There's less impact than I thought, and the castle has stuck in the ground in only a semi-ruined state. They can still fight, it appears, but how will they get out? As I slowly walk towards the Demon King castle, I'm still hearing voices from thought transmission. I'll use Flame Prison Annihilation Cannon. George Gray's. Who? She just said something interesting. Boo. But Sasha-sama, with the castle in this state, even if you use all the magic power from the sorceress, mages, the success rate for George Gray's is less than 20%. If it fails, the castle will collapse. Don't lose your nerve. Recognize the power of our enemy. He's a mongrel and carries the mark of the inept, but he's a monster. He threw a castle. Do you think half-hearted magics will work on him? The members uttering complaints fell silent at Sasha's voice. As I thought, she's got quite the charisma. Though she's still immature, it's a shame to keep her as an enemy. The highest level of flame magic is Flame Prison Annihilation Cannon. George Gray's. Anything less will not defeat Anno's Voldergod. No one else voices an objection. A subtle flow of magic power begins flowing through Lickus, which tells me what their decision is. The enemy side is one person and we have 20 people. We can avoid the shame of loss with this. Do your best and face death. Show that mongrel the best magic of your lives and the pride of royalty. Roger that. All the members shout out in one voice. Magic particles begin to rise from the Demon King castle and a three-dimensional magic formation appears. The Demon King castle itself is turned into a huge magical focus. 7 castle lords, guardians, are building a spell formation that's hard to construct. In order to maintain it, 10 sorcerers, mages, are pouring all their magic power into it, and the 2 remaining shamans will be responsible for aiming it. Sasha Necron is at the center of it all, organizing the various magics to make it work. She's worthy of her name, the Witch of Ruin. She's got a rare talent. Even though she's borrowing her colleagues' power, it is not easy to develop such a large-scale magic. Unlike Origin magic that provides enormous power but with an attached risk, the highest level of flame magic, George Gray's, is a technique that can only be used by those with the skill and power. It's impossible with Sasha's power alone, but after training to use Demon King army, guys, for a week she's now at a level where she could actually use it in a real war. Are you all prepared? All your power and all your feelings, leave them to me. Yes, I believe in you, Sasha-sama. Please use all my power. Let's win. We have the power of royalty. 20 people's feelings and power all converge on a single point. This is the true meaning of Demon King army. Guys, taking advantage of each class characteristic. A group magic that adds extra magic power. It increases it by a factor of 10. Even against a higher class opponent, you will be able to retaliate. The air itself strummed as if under tension. In the next moment, Sasha yells out, George Grees. The magic formation hangs above the castle and takes on a gunport-type shape. Magical power concentrates in its center. The magic power concentrates to its utmost, then explodes in one go. A comet that looks like a black sun shoots at me. Phew, for something that only had a 20% chance of working, everything's gone well for them so far. How splendid. Let me give you a reward. To attack George Gray's. I hold my hand up to it and a magic formation appears along with a small red flame. Thinking about it, this is my first time using attack magic in this era. Go. The small flame that I fired collides with George Gray's, and in the next moment, a hole appears in the jet black sun. From the hole, a red flame rapidly wraps up the black sun and devours it. It only took an instant, but the huge George Gray's was burnt without a trace. No way. George Gray's was cancelled. Sasha-sama. It wasn't cancelled. The other side's George Gray's is heading for us. The flame that I had fired plunged deeply into the castle and burst open. The castle is soon wrapped up in flames and burns down, causing the walls and ceilings to collapse with a noisy rattle. It collapsed almost instantly. Sasha had a narrow escape. She escaped from the castle using flight, while carrying 2 sorcerers, mages. Is her magic running low? She unintentionally made an unsteady emergency landing right in front of me. Impossible. All by yourself you can cast George Gray's. Phew. In the age of myths, it was natural to use George Gray's By yourself. Not that I can point that out here. I've only got one thing to say now. You saw how I cast it. What I used was not George Gray's. Sasha's eye widen in surprise. But there shouldn't be anything above George Gray's. One of the mages protested. No way, possibly origin magic, a taboo spell that threatens even royalty. In that case, no wonder George Gray's was destroyed. Yeah, they don't get it at all. I'm sorry to disappoint you, but it wasn't origin magic either. Sasha just quietly stares at me. It was flame, Grega. Wagga. Flame magic is ranked in order of power from the strongest first. Flame Prison Annihilation Cannon, George Gray's, Scorching Black Flame, Grayado, Demon Blaze, Gurazode, Grand Flame, Guzgam, and Flame, Grega. No way. With the lowest level of flame magic our Sasha Sama's, George Gray's, was burnt down and our Demon King castle. Helpless voices break out. Impossible. Such a thing is impossible. There must be some secret and evolved. Grega. I've got nothing to hide, so I'll teach them a bit. The secret is the difference in our magic powers. That was the only thing different between you, me and the other 20 people. There, mages. Head shook like it has been kicked. What did you say? Such a thing. It's not an odd story or anything. If there are differences in magic power, then Guzgam could beat Gurazode, for example. However, if the difference in magic power is huge enough, then this is what happens. As I finish speaking, I take one step forward and there, mages, begin to tremble all over. They are crushed by despair and lose the will to fight, completely causing them to lose consciousness. I carry on walking over to Sasha. Far superior monster. A mutter reaches my ears from behind. Do you remember our promise? I ask Sasha. Biting her lip, Sasha looks at me with a humiliated expression. Why didn't you kill me? Even if she says that it's not like we were really at war or something, it's not necessary to kill my classmates. Besides, it's a pain to have to revive people all the time. You have potential. It would be a shame to kill you. I hold my hand out to Sasha. Join me as a subordinate. After thinking for a while, Sasha reaches out to take my hand with no hesitation or fear. Just before she takes it, she glares at me and activates her demon eyes of ruin, hitting me with their full strength. Die. I refuse. I stare straight into Sasha's demon eyes of ruin. Then kill me. I refuse. I hold out my hand to her again. How stubborn. It's fine though. Join me as a subordinate. Such humiliation. I'll never forget this. Someday I'll be stronger, and when I am, I definitely kill you. I laughed. Let me tell you something, Sasha. If the end of killing someone was only death, then I'd have died 2,000 years ago. Sasha looked taken aback and then seemed to give up. Weird mongrel, she sighed. Fine. The present me cannot match you, and besides, due to sect, I cannot go against you anyway. After making up an excuse, Sasha merely put the tips of her fingers on my hand. However, please remember this. This is a contract. I do not remember selling you my heart. My best regards. Sasha stared at me in wonder as I started laughing. Nay, I want to hear it once more. What's that? Did you invite me because of that girl? Well, yeah, I'm hoping you both get along. It would make Miss her happy. I see. She doesn't seem bothered and lost interest in me. There was one more reason. What's that? Your demon eyes are beautiful. Sasha's face was immediately dyed bright red. She turns around and tries to run away. I'm telling the truth. I have never seen such beautiful demon eyes. Even during the Age of Myths, I never saw anyone with such pure, calm and undefiled eyes like hers. If my eyes are to be trusted, then she has great untapped magical power and talent. Well, at the moment she's still too immature. Are you listening? I ask Sasha, who's facing the other way. She turns to face me again. I didn't hear it, idiot. Is she shy? I was only trying to praise her. 1-1 Tsundere Airhead MC. This should go well. Chapter 17, Necron Sisters. This chapter is updated by novels.pl. Today's lesson came to an end. Explanations of different magic concepts and techniques that did nothing but make me sleepy. The test against Sasha barely qualified as light exercise. For the last week, I've been going to Deruzogedo, but nothing happened. No surprise raids by the humans, no petty tricks by the spirits. not even some conspiracy from the gods. Nothing at all. I must remain wary though and be ready to protect Derudo if it comes to it. I say this, but the greatly weakened Mizuku who should be vulnerable have prospered to this day. Is there no need for my protection? Total calm seems to have visited the Mizuku. Peace is boring, though that's no bad thing. What I mean is, leaving the gates of Deruzogedo Demon King Academy, Sasha walks behind me complaining. Why do I have to go back with you? I tilt my head to the side as Miss Ho looks at me as well, her eyes blinking rapidly. So we can deepen our friendship as members of the same group. I joined as your subordinate. I have no recollection of saying I would be your friend. Now, if it's that unpleasant you can go home. Indeed. Well then, I'm off. Have a nice day. Turning around, Sasha walks off in another direction from us. Mizuho stares at her back. Despite being expressionless, she seems a bit lonely. Can't be helped. In the group opposition test, I suddenly appeared in front of your castle. Sasha stopped suddenly. What magic did I use? Shall I show you? Twin tails shaking gently. Sasha looks back at us. I'll use contract, sect. As I thought, she's interested. Do whatever you want. Sasha used sect, and I signed it with magic. Here, I hold my hand out to Sasha. What? I said I'd show you, but it's faster to actually experience it. Even so, why do I have to hold hands with you? You obediently held it a while ago. Sasha's face became red. That was just part of the scene. This is mongrel. She makes an excuse that I don't understand at all. It doesn't matter which hand you take, but I can't show you if you don't hold my hand. Sasha holds my hand with great reluctance. Mizuho. Mizuho takes my other hand. I make Sasha and Mizuho hold each other's hand as well. What? Why? This fellow's expressions change an awful lot. If you don't want to see it, that's fine. I won't be breaking the contract that way. Sasha quietens down and holds out her hand to Mizuho again. Here you go. Mizuho takes her hand with no sign of hesitation. Hold it tighter. Like this. Sasha holds my hand tighter. Mizuho tightens her grip. Hey, do it properly. Tighter. If you don't, I can't use the magic. Sasha holds Mizuho's hand tighter. Mizuho also increased her grip. Somehow her expressionless face seemed really happy, like she was smiling broadly. Thank you. Mizuho's eyes seemed to say to me, don't worry about it. I laugh back with my eyes. Nay, you. What are you talking about with your eyes? Sasha glares at us. What? Do you want to join in? I stare into Sasha's eyes and her face quickly turns red. Fumu. You are not used to meeting people's gazes due to your demon eyes of ruin, are you, Sasha? No, that's not. Her words vanish. Bullseye. It's no wonder really if your control over there, demon eyes of ruin, is lacking. If you carelessly meet Sumion's gaze, you could kill them by mistake. It's fine. Just hurry up and show me the magic. Alright. Stop being so annoying. I use transfer, Gatum. Our view is dyed pure white and the next moment I'm outside my house. Blacksmith, appraisers, solar wind. After all, lost magic, Gatum. Connecting two spaces, there's no doubt. Sasha is muttering to herself while trying to analyze the remaining magical residue, though that's pretty much impossible. This is my house. Do you want to come in? Rather than that magic just now was, Gatum, wasn't it? How did a mongrel learn a lost magic? Teach me. Are you that interested? Sasha steadily edges up to me. If you want to know, then come to my house. Why do I have to enter a mongrel's house? Don't be so restrained. Sasha glares at me and magic formations appear in her eyes. I'm not. Really? Are you going home? See you tomorrow then. I turn my back to Sasha and talk to Mizuho. Do you want to stop by, Mizuho? Let's go then. Do you want to talk about lost magic today? Saying something provocative, I put my hand on the door handle. Please wait. Huh? When I turn around, Sasha is muttering awkwardly. Me too. She looks down embarrassed. What? So I'll go. Her words disappear again and I laugh unintentionally. Ha. Sasha heaves a sigh of relief. You wanted to play? No, my purpose is, Gatum, That's it. Will you stop it with your strange suspicions? Looks like I was right with her getting so excited and denying it. Perhaps she unexpectedly wants to just hang out. Whatever. I should stop poking her. Ms. Her gets depressed when I get too stubborn. Clang clang, I open the door. My mother, who was tending the front of the store, notices me and comes trotting over. Welcome back, Anos-chan. How was your group opposition exam today? My mother asked with a nervous look. I won. My mother smiles brilliantly and hugs me tightly. That's amazing, Anos-chan. A genius. Only a month old and surpassing great people. Too amazing. I'll make a feast tonight. She's rubbing her cheek against mine now. Really puzzling behavior. The force of my mother is as great as ever. Oh, I've also brought guests over. Ms. Chan again? Maou. Anos-chan is so lovey-dovey. My mother pokes me in the stomach with her elbow several times before speaking to Miss Her, who was behind me. Welcome, Miss Her-chan, eh? A question mark appears above my mother's head when she sees two people. Nice to meet you, mother. I'm Sasha Necron. I'm pleased to make your acquaintance. Sasha lifts the hem of her skirt and elegantly bows. Mother-sama, what? 1. My mother seems to have received a shock of some description. Anos-chan has. Anos-chan has. My mother's complexion became pale and she shouted out. Anos-chan has bought a second bride who My mother is greatly overwhelmed and wound up while Sasha is dumbfounded. What do you mean? Hey Sasha-chan. Will you calmly listen? My mother grabs Sasha by both her shoulders and appeals to her with a serious look. I am fine and calm. Sasha tells my mother, who's still wound up. Anos-chan is only a month old. He doesn't know better. He doesn't mean any harm, but he's already got a bride called Miss Her-chan. It doesn't matter. That's got nothing to do with me. As expected of Sasha, she's calm. Surely my mother will pull herself together now. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. A mistress is good too. Anos-chan. Anos-chan. Why are you so popular? As expected of my mother, she's able to twist anything and put a slant on it. Please wait a moment. You're misunderstanding something. Then are you aiming for a stolen love? Sasha looks at me with a troubled look. Since this is interesting, I'll leave her alone a little longer. How about this? Do you know Miss Her's family name? It's Necron. I'm Sasha Necron. Then, my mother was taken aback. That's right, we're sisters. We only got to know each other by chance. Sisters are fighting over Anos-chan. What should I do? What should I do? Anos-chan is too handsome. He's tearing up the close bond of sisters. At that time a door banged open and another troublesome one arrived. Papa was also naughty in the old days, though I did it through fencing. Ha 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 ha. Fumu. My father is going full power right from the beginning. Why did you start with an old tale suddenly? Therefore I understand your feelings well. I did dumb stupid things as a boy and I'm able to understand most of them, but... My father's expression turned serious. You've got two women. I'm so envious. Fumu. Your true intentions are leaking out, father. Turning amazed eyes to both parents and child. Sasha sighs. Hey, Anos. Take responsibility. How should we get married? Sasha's face turns crimson. How did you arrive at that conclusion? Are you stupid? What a noisy fellow. Hey, Ms. Her, you say something too. Ms. Her thinks about it and says, Sasha likes Anos. Are you stupid? Fumu. Despite calling her a trash doll, their relationship doesn't seem that bad. 1. Sasha uses the word for mother-in-law/stepmother here. Jibo. Chapter 18. Reconciliation. This chapter is updated by novels.pl. To celebrate our winning of the opposition team exam, my mother used all her skills and cooked up a feast. It was very lively with 2 extra people and I must admit it didn't feel bad at all, though most of the noise came from my parents. Sasha stared, complaining that celebrating her own loss was hard to swallow, but as soon as she had some of my mother's homemade food she fell silent. It seems even in this age my mother's cooking is incredibly delicious. And what did Anos-chan say to invite Sasha-chan to the group? Here we go again. It seems clearing up my mother's misunderstanding will be difficult. Sasha is facing the same question torture that Miss Her went through. It was nothing special. Become my subordinate. That was it, pretty much. Become my subordinate. What's with that? If you act like a clumsy man, any girl will fall for it. Listening to my mother scream, Sasha's face takes on a difficult look. The reason? Why did Anos-chan invite Sasha-chan? No reason really. I'm just good war potential. That's all. What? That's it? That's suspicious. What's the reason, Miss Ha-chan? Ms. Ha swallowed the salad she was eating and said in an indifferent voice, "Your demon eyes are beautiful." If you say such a killing phrase, any woman will definitely fall in love. Anos-chan is a natural gigolo. The gap due to his awkwardness is too much. How did Miss Ha know that? Was she listening to me using thought transmission? Lickus, whatever. It's a standard strategy for anyone using Demon King Army, guys, to activate Lickus without being ordered to anyway. Can you avoid saying unnecessary things, please, Miss Ha? Was it bad? Being directly asked caused Sasha to turn her face away in surprise. Not especially. Fumu. It looks like my mother thinks they are arguing now. She has a nervous look on her face that says I was careless. My father casually catches my eyes and nods in a profound and far-sighted way. It's a face that says I have nothing more to teach you. Yeah, like the time with Miss Who. I've been waiting for it to calm down so I can explain that she's not another bride, but at the moment my mother's got a tearful face and seems ready to cry. Let's wait for another opportunity. Well, I don't suppose it matters. It's not like I'll die from a misunderstanding. The lively meal seems to finish in the blink of an eye. I'll send Sasha and Miss Ha home. When I came back into the shop after talking to my father in his workshop, I saw Sasha and Miss Ha waiting for me, standing side by side. Silence. I understand Miss Ha. She's originally a person of few words, but Sasha does not have a silent personality. It was a weird feeling with no talking going on. At first, I thought that it was because she had to eat with a trash doll, but Sasha's attitude doesn't seem to suggest that's the reason. Zeps and Lorg were also like this too. It's a story I don't understand. I decide to wait a little longer and watch the two of them from the shadows. The silence continued for 10 minutes, but it became impossible for Sasha to endure it any longer and she started talking in a subdued voice. Late, NN. The silence returns. Nay, NN. We've spoken a lot today. It's unusual. NN. Do you like him, Miss Ha? Him? Oh, for him. Knows. Miss Ha thinks about it for a while. Like Fuan. What's good about him? Kind. Where? He was like a demon in the group opposition test. I am kind, you know. He's strict on his enemies. I see. What an inconsistent fellow. The silence returns for a while. Sasha? What? Do you like Anos? Such a thing is impossible. Sasha denied it at full power while her face was red. That's so. It is. Ms. Ha stares into Sasha's eyes. Perhaps because she was excited, demon eyes of ruin have formed in her eyes. But Sasha mutters in a small voice. If it's Anos, I can stare at him with these eyes. Sasha trails off like she's speaking to herself. NN. He's truly crazy. My demon eyes are beautiful, even though they are cursed to destroy whatever I look at without my permission. However, Sasha cut off her own words, then started speaking again. Someone with the same eyes as mine. I've finally met that person for the first time. It's only a bit, but she smiles. That's all. I understand. Sasha quietly watches Miss Ha, who does not look away. That reminds me, Miss Ha is also the same. The same? You can look me straight in the eyes. Miss Ha nods. Of course she can. Miss Ha's demon eyes are strong as well. Sasha's demon eyes of ruin will be resisted. Do you remember our childhood? I could not control these demon eyes at all and I was destroying everything, so I was locked away in a prison made from magic. I remember. Sasha looks down after remembering. While everybody else avoided entering my field of vision, Miss Ha was always by my side. We practiced together. Sasha laughs a nostalgic laugh. That's right. Thanks to you. As long as I don't meet someone's gaze directly, I don't carelessly injure people anymore. Sasha tried hard. Instead of answering, Sasha just nods. Nay. A while ago, it felt nostalgic. Hand? Yeah, me too. In a timid voice, Sasha says. Is again okay? NN. The two of them hold hands. We always used to do this. I wasn't let out of the prison, so whenever I started crying, Miss Ha held my hand and made me smile. Miss Ha nods. Honestly, I don't know who's the older sister sometimes. Sasha is the older sister. Sasha smiles wryly at her. Miss Ha. I'm only going to say this once. Ms. H nods. I'm sorry, please forgive me. Ms. H shakes her head from side to side. I wasn't angry. Sasha's eyes rounded in surprise. Really? NN. The two of them stare at each other and grasp each other's hand firmly. Fumu. I don't understand everything that's going on, but at least they seem to have reconciled. Why were they originally fighting though? It's mysterious. Whatever. They are at a vigorous age. It could have been a worthless reason for all I know. I called out to them. Sorry, I've kept you waiting. I send you home now. It's fine. I'll walk home. I look at Miss H and she nods as well. Taking the time to walk home. How commendable. It's fine. Then have a good day. Still holding hands, the pair leave the house. I don't say anything but start walking next to them. Why are you coming as well? I said I'd send you home. I stand by my word. The story behind transfer. Gatum, will you tell me while we walk? It's also fun to waste time occasionally, I suppose. Fuan. Sazza turns a look to me that says strange guy, but I brush it off lightly. In the end, I didn't talk about Gatum at all, and Sasha seemed to forget about it after a bit. Perhaps the impact of my mother was too strong? Oh. That reminds me. Do you know? Naturally, she turns her gaze my way. What a dangerous fellow. If I wasn't me, I'd have passed out by now. I haven't said anything yet. It's impossible for there to be something I don't know about. I see. Well then, even though you already know, our lecturer for tomorrow's Great Magic Formation is one of the old 7 Demon Emperors, Avis Necron. Fumu. Is that so? I didn't know that. Then say so from the beginning. Don't get so excited. I was joking. One of the old 7 Demon Emperors? It's a name I'm curious about. Sasha. Why are they called the old 7 Demon Emperors? I'm amazed. You just said that there was nothing you didn't know about. You don't know about the old 7 Demon Emperors? You truly are an inept person. So, what is it? 2000 years ago the founder used his own blood and made 7 subordinates. They are the founders of the Demon King tribe and inherited the traits and talents of the founder. I know that, because I did it after all. I don't really know much more apart from the followers of the 7 subordinates started calling them the old 7 Demon Emperors. What? Those fellows are the old 7 Demon Emperors? Oh. That reminds me, I never did give them names. I was so absorbed in my reincarnation I never found the time to do it. So the old 7 Demon Emperors started Deruzogedo Demon King Academy and started raising the next generation of Demon Emperors. Also, they knew I'd one day reincarnate as well, so it was for that time as well. I see. Then if I meet the old 7 Demon Emperors, it should be really easy to prove I am the founder. Something's strange though. Those fellows are Mazakui who were born during the age of mythology, but the management of Deruzogedo Demon King Academy is way too negligent when it shouldn't be. Also, they should know me above all others, so how was I branded an inept person? Not to mention the Mazakui have fallen into bloodline pedigree. I thought it must be because they became incompetent over the years, but perhaps there's another reason. I'm walking next to Miss Ho while thinking darkly. Before long, Arnos. I finally noticed that Sasha was calling me. What's wrong? What's wrong? Nothing. We've arrived. This is our home. There's a gate in front of me and a splendid mansion can be seen set further back. After learning about the old 7 Demon Emperors, you fell silent. Is something wrong? No, it's nothing. Is that so? Well then, thank you for escorting us. Have a good day. Turning on her heels, Sasha leaves. Goodbye. See you tomorrow. NN. Ms. Who also heads towards the mansion. I still don't have enough information to work out how I have been branded inept. I can think of a few possibilities, but they are all guesses at the end of the day. Never mind. Tomorrow I get to meet one of the old 7 Demon Emperors, so I should understand more then. There's no hurry. Let's bide my time and wait. Should I return home? While still thinking, Sasha came back to the gate. What's wrong? Nothing. Then why did you come back? Arnos. NN, you know. She abruptly turns away while blushing bashfully. Thank you. For what? Because thanks to you I've reconciled with Misia. What? Did Sasha want to make up all this time but couldn't due to her stubborn character? I haven't done anything great. That's not true. Becoming your subordinate. Nobody would normally say such a reckless thing. Sasha seems happy and laughs. Except for you, Fumu. I wasn't in danger of dying at all, so it was nothing much for me. By the way, why were you fighting? Sasha's expression clouds over. It's silly. A really trivial thing, however. There was something I could never hand over. That's it. Did you settle it? Yeah, it seems so. Sasha's manner of speech is breaking down. I want to ask you something. What? What if fate has already decided on something? What would you do? I answer immediately. If you don't like it, change it. If you don't mind it, it doesn't matter. Sasha's face had a blank expression before she asked me, do you think fate can be changed? Yeah, it's easy. What would you do? Break it. Sasha's eyes rounded a little before she smiled. Nay, come here a moment. I refuse. Why are you refusing? Just come here. I don't like being ordered around. Moo, how selfish are you? Sasha sighs in amazement. Will you come over here? Very good. I move over to Sasha. More. What are you doing? When I step forward, Sasha kisses me on the lips. Due to a conditioned reflex, I activate, lickus, and try to read her mind. The reason being that there is a specific curse that activates through a kiss. Sasha's mind comes flowing in. This is the first and last kiss. There's no hostility, but I feel a brave but tragic resolve. I don't know how long it took, but she separates her body quickly. That's a kiss between friends. A mere thank you. Blushing bashfully, Sasha looks down. But you are my first. I've never done that with anyone else. I don't know what she's thinking, but I won't shame her. Fumu, I got something precious then. Thank you. Sasha blinks in surprise and mutters strange mongrel. Then see you tomorrow. Ooh. Waving my hand, I activate my magic and use Gatum. Just before my scenery turns white. Neanos, I'm glad I met you. Sasha's voice echoes in my ears. Chapter 19, Grand Magic Training. This chapter is updated by novels.pl. The next day when I arrive in Deruzogedo's second training hall, there's a different person than normal sitting in the seat to my right. Good morning, Sasha says to me with a natural expression on her face. Was your seat here before? I changed it. It's easier since we are in the same group, right? It does remove the trouble of having to get up and move any time we need to discuss something. I take my seat and call out to Miss He, who's on my left. Yo. Good morning, Miss He replies in her usual indifferent voice. That reminds me. What happened to the people that were my members? What happened? Because I entered your group, there should have been other people trying to join as well. That's right. Some people did call out to me. I refused. Why? Isn't it better to have a large number of people? Even if you ask why, none of them gave off the right feeling. Sasha is dumbfounded. Not like it's a problem anyway. I can win with only you two. If I'm blunt, I only need myself to win. There will be other group tests. A lot are aimed at 5 people, and when you move up a grade it can be for 7 or more people. I see. Was there such a rule? I can't win if I can't participate. I didn't know that. What are you going to do? It's fine. I still have time. I'll think about it. You sure are easygoing, Sasha said in amazement. As the bell starts ringing, the classroom door opens and Emily enters. Entering behind her is a man wearing a black robe, cloak and hat. Well, the word man is misleading. It's more of a skeleton. If I'm not mistaken, he's one of my 7 subordinates, though apparently now an undead. So this is Avis Necron, one of the old 7 demon emperors. They seem to wield considerable power and influence even in this age. The usually noisy students fell silent when Avis appeared. That's not right. They got hit by the magic power this guy is emitting. It's pretty powerful. It's causing them to unconsciously fear him. The same thing would happen if I emitted my magic. Or rather, it would have done once, but the Mazaku in this era are way too weak. Now, if I emitted my magic, it would cause their magic senses, like their demon eyes, to become temporarily paralyzed, and they would feel nothing at all. They wouldn't be able to sense my magic at all. Oh well, if they actually could sense my magic, those with weak anti-magic capabilities would die. Perhaps this temporary paralysis to their senses is actually a defense mechanism now? As I said last time, today we will be training to use a grand magic. Please listen very carefully to the old 7 demon emperor Avis Necron as this spell approaches the depths of the abyss of magic. Especially, Emily looks at me. You are knows Voldegod Khan. Please don't be rude. Good grief. Did you really have to warn me expressly? Do they really think I'm impolite? You didn't need to waste your breath. I know that much. That's good then. Yeah. What are you worried about? This is an opportunity. Should I say hello? I stand up. Yo Avis, long time no see! Exclamation mark. Emilia's mouth falls open like it's ready to drop off. Seems like an extreme surprise. Uanos Voldigod-kun. This is Avis Sama. Don't speak so familiarly. I can hear the whispering of the students. Crap. This is bad. That fellow, he's definitely dead now. If Avis Sama gets angry, we will be caught up in it. Ask for forgiveness, inept person. I ignore the noise and use my demon eyes on Avis. The magic is familiar. I'm sure it's one of my subordinates made from my blood. But there's something. Avis Sama, I'm sorry. Arno's Voldigod will be expelled immediately. It's fine, Avis said in a generous manner. You said it's been a long time? Avis turns to look at me. 2,000 years in fact. Don't you remember me? 2,000 years. I see, that explains it. Avis nods, having reached an understanding. Unfortunately, I lost my memories from 2,000 years ago. All I can remember is my lord the Demon King of Tyranny. Then you should remember me. Are you related to the founder? Fumu, I see. He remembers the Demon King of Tyranny but doesn't understand who I am. In other words, he believes the Demon King of Tyranny is someone other than me. It might be related to his lost memory, but it's certainly a strange story. The top of the academy is the old 7 demon emperors. Even if Avis really lost his memory, it's impossible for all 7 of them to lose their memories. This is no coincidence. Has his memory been tampered with, or are you pretending not to remember? Certainly. I feel a sense of nostalgia from your magic. Really? I have no doubt that we were acquainted 2,000 years ago. In any event, I can't understand anything from this conversation only. Do you need something from me? I do. But first I'm going to try to make you remember. All the students, Emilia, Sasha and Miss Hu all watch me anxiously as I walk straight over to Avis. I slowly grab the skeleton's face, causing the whole classroom to panic. Wow, nose-kun. He's done it, that fellow. While the noisy students yammer on, I draw a magic formation in my palm. Remember, your lord. My name is Arno's Voldigod. The magic that I used was recollection, Ivui. It recalls distant and far-off memories. However, there's no answer. It's no use. The memory no longer exists in my head. I can't remember it because it's gone. Recollection, Ivui, cannot return that which is lost. Then how about this? I develop multiple magic formations and use origin magic time manipulation, Leboido, and stack up multiple recollections, Ivui. This is what are you doing? In my head an image is emerging. If the memory is completely gone from your head, then time manipulation, Leboido, will go back in time in a limited way. In this case 2,000 years ago, then recollection, Ivui, will recall the memory from there. Impossible to go back in time. Is there a grand magic to transcend time? It's a type of origin magic, though its usability is quite strict. The origin of Avis' memory of the Demon King Arnos from 2,000 years ago. By following the flow of time back using Leboido, I can let it form in the head of Avis. The experiences from 2,000 years ago should be flowing like a revolving lantern. Certainly, I've gone back 2,000 years in my memories. However, it's not there. Even 2,000 years ago there is no memory in the head of Avis of the Demon King Arnos Voldigod. Of course, Ivui can only pull the memory out if it exists in the head of Avis. I can only read the surface, but my name should be there at the very least. Yet when I looked, not even my name existed. What came out instead, and it came out many times, was the name Demon King of Cruelty Avos Delivia. Why is my memory not returning? Your memory from 2,000 years ago has been beautifully erased, and I don't know when from exactly. Simply put, the past has been tampered with. In the head of Avis, the memory of the Demon King Arnos was forgotten right from its start point. This was done by magic. Yeah, what a nasty story. I can't fight it either. Not from 2,000 years ago. I see, however, Thank you Arnos. It's a fine crop. Just knowing this much, it means someone is hostile against me. Are you serious or pretending ignorance? It's possible he tampered with the past himself. I have no way of knowing. Don't mind it. Let's start the class. When I go back to my seat, the students start whispering again. What was that? I don't know. He grabbed the head on one of the old 7 demon emperors and got told thank you. Why a thank you? Perhaps that was his plan. What do you mean? I mean he got thanked by one of the old 7 demon emperors. That fellow, is he really an inept person? Amazing. I have no idea what's going on at all. It's too much. I pull out my chair and sit down. Ms. leans over and speaks to me. I'm glad you are okay. From my other side, Sasha says. I cannot believe you. Yeah. So much noise over the dullest of things like usual. However, Avos Delevia. I had thought that my name got corrupted by mistake over the years, but it's darker than that. The old 7 demon emperors, this academy, and me being branded an inept person. All of it appears to be intended. I've got no proof, but I know it to be true. Avos Delevia. Someone is trying to replace me. Chapter 20. Secret Magic of the Necrons. This chapter is updated by novels.pl. Ignoring the uproar, Avis spoke in a low voice. Today I'll be lecturing you on the secret magic of the Necron family, fusion magic. Avis draws the basic magic formation for fusion magic on the blackboard. It's a very large-scale magic and seems to be a natural magic formation that requires moonlight to draw it. The magic gate and the characters are similar to those used in the mythological age. The students looked eager to copy the magic formation, but it was nothing special for me. However, at least it was a magic similar to something that would be studied in the Age of Myths. In that sense, it was quite interesting for me. If the usual classes were like this, I wouldn't be so sleepy all the time. Hey Arnos, why aren't you copying it into your notebook? Are you using a recording crystal? Sasha says from her seat next to me. I am recording it. Here. I tap my temple with my finger. That's a lie, right? No way you can memorize a complicated magic formation like this just by looking at it. Sasha mutters, half in surprise and half in doubt. What about you? I don't see you taking any notes either. It's the Necron family's secret magic and I'm a direct descendant. I learnt the basics of it long ago. Oh yeah, I'd forgotten about that. If you're a direct descendant, then are you close to Avis? No way. The old 7 demon emperors are in existence above the clouds. Even if I'm a direct descendant, I'm the 16th generation. I'm the lowest of the low. The amount of times I've spoken to Avis Sama is once. The Mazakui have long lives. Apart from Sasha, are other direct descendants still alive? As I just explained, the advantage of fusion magic is the ability to fuse magics together. By combining different magics with different wavelengths, it produces a strong magic reaction. It can raise the original magic power tenfold. That's the beginner's class for fusion magic mixed assimilation. Jgum. While Avis' lecture continues, Sasha talks in a low voice. Nay. Did you really learn it? Didn't you just give a flippant answer? You're a deeply skeptical person, aren't you? Because it took me a month to learn this technique. It took you a month, but I understood the calculations in about 1 second. Sasha glares at me angrily. She seems to be quite dissatisfied for some reason as her demon eyes of ruin have formed. Do you want me to prove it? How? Avis' explanation had ended. Does anyone have any questions? There's a grateful atmosphere in the classroom, but lots of fears as well. No one will raise their hands. Anyone? To break the tension, I raise my hand. Maou, go ahead. Students start whispering as soon as I stand up. That fellow, what's he going to say this time? I know. It's unbelievable. Where's his courage come from? If you say something wrong, you'll be killed. Yeah. The Mazaku of this era sure are shy. It's hard to think of them as my descendants. I have won about the magic formation for mixed assimilation. Jgum. There's a defect in the basic structure for fusion magic. Utter silence. Not a noise comes from the room. Fumu. Apparently, I can freeze my whole class with a simple sentence. He's dead. It's over. This is completely different from that time with Emilia Sensei. A defect in the Necron family's secret magic. In other words, he's pointing out a mistake by one of the old 7 demon emperors. That goes beyond dangerous. There's no way there's a defect in the structure developed by one of the old 7 demon emperors. Contrary to the noisy students, Avis is calm when he replies. What's the defect? This is the basic method to fuse magic. The magic reaction causes the power to increases tenfold. However, judging by the structure of the formation, the fusion does not last long at all. The students had deployed magic barriers while I was talking. They seemed convinced Avis was going to attack at any moment. That's very impressive, to notice that detail while only seeing the formation once. The atmosphere in the class gave off the impression that the students were getting ready to dodge incoming magic. What the? He's right. He's only just seen it. Avis writes the fusion time on the blackboard. It's true. Fusion magic has a defect in the sense that its duration time is extremely short. It's in the basic structure itself. Even if I develop it into advanced magic, I cannot erase this defect itself. I point another thing out. If you are an average user, then the fusion time is about 3 to 5 seconds. Basically, this makes it a flashy magic only and not worth remembering. Avis nods generously at my words. Certainly. There are limited scenarios where fusion magic would give you the advantage. In most cases, using other magics would be better. However, if you look deeper into the abyss, it is also a magic that can change. Fumu, as expected of a subordinate that carries my blood. If you could complete the technique. Did your demon eyes arrive at the end point? I agree. When I looked into the abyss, I understood the basic method of true fusion magic. At that line, Avis shakes in surprise. The sound of notebooks being hastily put away and a pen falling on the floor sounded throughout the classroom. It's over. We're all dead. No, I don't want to die. Why am I in the same class as that inept person? All the students were shivering as they prepared for death. Can you improve this technique? A little bit of surprise was mixed into Avis' low voice. Easily. This is a magic I've spent over 1,000 years making. Oh well. Look. I stand up. Wait, fusion magic is the secret art of the Necron family. I can understand you improving Demon King army, guys, as you had probably seen it before, but this Sasha tries to stop me. I'm the best in this class. Are you that worried about me? Not really. I'm not worried about you. Sasha turns away from me in a huff. Look. I walk over to the blackboard, emanate magic power and redraw the formation. How's that? Avis gulped the moment he saw it, followed a few moments later by his whole body trembling. The redrawn formation is actually emanating magic. Though demon eyes are required to see it, you need to actually think about it to understand it. Is the method correct? Does it work? It's obvious at a glance. This I can't believe it. The fusion time has increased several hundred times. I see you've incorporated origin magic into it. However, you've tied that origin magic into the technique itself. How? While Avis desperately tries to decode the magic, I casually say, it's easy. Applying the technique of fusion magic, I fused the two magics. Wow. Avis was at a loss for words. It was probably unexpected. Even though everyone has looked at it, no one had noticed. If you really look at it, it was actually an easy and very basic thing to do, but no one considered it. Probably for that very reason. This is what true magic research is like. What an idea. You said your name was Voldigod. I did not think that anyone had studied fusion magic before me. Ah, I see. It seems I've been misunderstood a little. Number. This is your achievement, Avis. What? Today is the first time I've seen fusion magic. Without your research, I could not have completed it. I just gave it the final push. Avis lets out an astonished voice. What? You completely understood the method of fusion magic after seeing it for the first time and then completed it? Fast or slow? What does it matter? You would have noticed it yourself in another 1,000 years or so. Because I was finished, I went back to my seat. Arnos Voldigod. Why is a monster like that attending this academy? There's nothing to teach him. Avis' words filled with awe reach my ears. The whole classroom starts to become noisy again. What happened? I'm alive. I can't understand anything that just happened. Arnos somehow completed fusion magic. That fellow, what is he? Wasn't he an inept person? An inept person, isn't he a genius? It's too much, I can't even follow the normal words. I sit back down and see Sasha looking at me with her mouth open. Did you understand all that? I don't know what to say anymore.